Alright, so last time you guys had finished off your trek through the Brennus Trail, getting to not exactly the basin, but near to it of the volcano. After meeting what you eventually found to be a image of Brenner, you were granted 3 boons, possibly 4 if you count the information. After having your mind expanded, your equipment shuffled around, as well as now Dragonbone sticks in possession, you were given quite a bit of details and very straightforward details to follow on your long trek to finding the Hollow Lily flower. With the next place on your list to go, you were told to speak with the denizens of Shadowrock Hollow, as you were to gain a certain key and map from them. After getting that, you were to next continue heading westwards into the Dragon's Spine, which the Bria call a certain section of the mountains. And whilst in there, you are to find a tribe of Ronso. If they still go by the name Vizurak, you are unsure. But once you find them, you are to ask them to enter the Dance of Daisies, at which point you would find enough of the Hollow Lily flower for what you need. With such a direct course of action, though possibly a bit vague because you don't have the exact location of where the Ronso are, you decided to head out from the volcano's basin after finding Brenner's visage to be a illusion cast by another dragon by the name of Froyrai, saying that Brenner had gone to the dragon's hold like many other dragons and was standing in for her, and that he was the other guardian of the volcano. Heading back to town, resting and gathering up some supplies, you headed on the above ground, or just on the mountain tops of Brenner's domain, with the allowance of 4Y to go back and forth for about a year. And as stated, you were allowed to go through there without any such trouble, so much so you didn't really see much in the way of danger across the mountaintops. This was made ever more evident as when you're getting towards the end of your trek, possibly seeing the edge of the barrier, so to speak, you were able to spot a humanoid in the sky, or at least a few of you were. Entering into the domain, the creature spontaneously combusted and fell to the floor in a smouldering heap, showing that if you don't have permission, there's a good chance you're not even going to be able to leave the area. Exiting the domain and having no adverse effects, you continued westward, with the next task, or at least the most closest, with a suggestion from Froyrai to hunt down a fearsome green dragon by the name of Hurrickstrom. Going into a desolated city, once known as Praukpolis, you found it decimated from both magic and mundane means. Many of the buildings missing several parts of their walls and several missing their roofs. You didn't see much in the way of life here, nor much in the way of evidence of what had done this. Though in one of the houses you see a lot of scratch marks across the floor, as if a scaled beast was slithering around. But to what point in time, it would be very hard to tell, as it is dust-crusted and possibly far beyond a local time frame. Reaching the keep of Praukpolis, you entered through a destroyed section of the wall, seeing the keep within and the very tall 200-foot tower. At its peak, you cannot see what's inside. Getting through there with Al climbing the walls with a head warning she was going to get a better eye of the area, Zyurn decided to get up closer to the keep and look around. This led to a series of unfortunate events as a large wolf corpse was flown from the keep's tower and fell to the floor, slowly followed thereafter by a huge green dragon. Landing with a crash, it started to speak amongst your group, though you didn't have much in the way of discussion, possibly them being to vague and strange in their dialogue, and also Zairin being in a terrible place to stand, as his reaction to the conversation was to drink a vial, stirring Hurikstram to conjure up a storm around himself and also push away many other objects. Though thankfully, most of you were able to stand tall against the winds. A relatively long fight ensued, to the end of which both Edwin and Drazenka were clawed and torn apart as they both died in combat. Though eventually, Al was able to descend the walls, and with the combination of Zairin's attacks, Drazenka's very potent ice spells, and Al's double breath of the day as she spent a hero point to recharge it, you were able to bring down Hurikstram and recover your allies. Though I'm not too sure if you have many more Phoenix Downs in your inventory. With Hurikstram dealt with, and the advice from Froyrai, you went into the keep to search for Hurikstram's hoard. And it seemed like he was quite the collector of jewelry, as you saw atop a pile of 2100 gil, several pieces that all had the name of the crafter engraved in them, similar to a logo, as Rai was the one who created the necklace and rings. Al quickly was the one to reveal that Rai was the name of her mother. There was also a pair of gloves of beastman stitching, as well as an intricate wand that ended in a dragon's head. And I think you identified everything. If you didn't, you can always get a chance another day. And we ended off just as you were deciding how to split those items amongst the party. So we shall continue from there. I heard a bit of a noise. I don't know if that was G going, wanted to interrupt me, but now you can if you wanted to.
I know that for some reason I dropped out of the call for about 2 seconds, but that's all I know of.
Unacceptable.
Nothing from me. I think to be fair, from the messages, I know that it's been kind of buried. I did have a look. We've given out pretty much all the stuff we wanted to. The rest of it's gone to group loot, and I think the 2100's gone. Imagine has gone into group loot. So I think we were just taking stock really at this point, and then heading out, unless anyone else had something they wanted to do here, because we'd found out that this was potentially Al's mom who made the stuff, right?
Fairly certain, yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's a very high chance.
Do we want to go up to where the dragon dropped down from?
If you really want to investigate this place further, feel free. I'll be honest, I've had quite enough of it.
I don't think there shouldn't be anything else dangerous around here. Not much is going to come near a dragon's hoard.
I can always just quickly go up and have a look, see if there's anything worth of value.
Please go together, if you are going.
Is there a stairway to get up there at all?
Well, I could just climb the outside wall. If there's any danger, just jump off and glide down.
Yeah, but then we wouldn't be going together.
No, I was
There is indeed
referring to
a
Edwin.
stone
Unless you want to
stairwell
carry
that goes
me.
up.
Well, might as well go to the staircase then.
Okay.
Climbing the stone stairwell, every so often you need to make a lunge or even a leap, as many of the parts of the stairwell have broken apart. Eventually, you're able to climb the massive steps to get to the roost of the keep. Though probably not a roost in the past, it is now full to the brim of what seems to be piles of soil and skeletons, as well as straw, branches, and leaves. Nestled amongst the nest, you see 3 scaled eggs with dotted green across it. However, each one has cracked apart in several parts and revealed the interiors to be hollow.
Oh, man. Did the other 2 come with us at all?
I didn't. I'm sitting down.
Okay.
I'm staying with Edwin.
Okay. Well, I guess the magic users can't check to see if there's anything magical up here. Should we just do a quick search?
Sounds good to me.
Looking around the local vicinity, you don't see anything of note. Even the skeletons have been picked bare of anything they would have had. However, everyone will hear that the storm outside has died down. Al, apparently being very perceptive at this point, can hear not exactly some shifting of movements down to where the dragon used to be.
Zyra and Al are at the top tower, aren't they?
Yes.
She's going to quickly hop up on the wall and look down to where she know the noise was.
What you looking at?
I can hear something.
Looking over the side of the keep, you will no longer see the body of Hurrickstram. However, in its place, you'll see something new, as there is a large-sized red naga with four forelimbs covered in jewelry.
Zaire,
Is that
head
what I
down the
think it
stairs
is?
quickly and get Edwin and Drazenka. Move down to the bottom and I'll meet you down there.
You're not gonna like this, but the fastest way for me to do this, and the safest even, is for me to jump.
No, just run down the stairs. I'll keep an eye on it.
Zion runs to the other side over here and leaps off the side of the building.
Al visibly does a
Okay.
really big face slap. So much so that it probably hurt her.
This is the first time I've got to use this item, so I'm not even gonna apologize.
Do you have the Ring of Feather Warning, or is it Boots of the Cat you have?
Boots of the cat.
All
I'm
right,
gonna take
roll me
20 damage.
acrobatics.
Acrobatics.
You certainly land on your feet. Then roll me reflex.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna go straight through the roof.
Pretty much. Alright, Zion leaps off the western side of the keep, landing firmly on his feet atop the slate roof. However, the roof shakes and shambles as you fall with it, going through many of the wooden catwalks on the higher portion of the keep itself. Eventually, you'll land just a floor above the other two, though you're probably shaking all over from the distance you
Adrenaline rush.
fell, as you'll take 18 damage.
Oh, 18. Okay, cool.
Would
I thought
that
it was over 100 feet.
help with the boots or no?
No, that is the
That's-
damage from the boots. It's minimum.
Oh, okay.
It caps out at 20 d6, but it didn't fall 200 feet.
Oh, okay.
Edwin will probably jump up. What the hell is going on?
There's a
that?
naga
I don't know about
outside. A big one.
So you jumped off the.
I didn't get these boots for nothing.
Injuring yourself is not a way to experience magical items. I'm gonna cure him up. But,
Also the fastest way to get down here. Terminal
Right.
velocity is a hell of a thing. I didn't even reach that fast.
I'm not going to argue with you right now about this. Let's get out there. Drazenka, are you okay?
Yes, let's go.
What sort of healing do you do?
There will be a -2 to this. I just haven't got it built in. 60.
That's
So
way more than my health, so 61 total.
Is Al going to be gliding down?
Once
was
she
looking at it.
sees, once she sees the party come around the corner, that's when she'll jump off and glide down.
All right. As the rest of the party move around, you will see the same large-size red naga. They turn towards you, and speaking as if they were a native to the common tongue, they will say, "Good evening, travelers of far lands. Our actions have been whispering to one another so much, I felt it best to speak more face to face. I am Raket Jaraga. Might it behoove you to introduce yourselves similarly?"
We haven't had very good relations with Naga in the recent past. My name is Zairan.
Sorry, what is that name?
It's Raket Jaraga.
I thought you were taking the piss when you said sorry.
There you go. Good enough.
Okay.
That's what I put. Bracket Jaraga.
Exactly. Is only Zairan given the name?
I was going to see if anyone else is going to take a lead on it. Edwin Smithson. A pleasure.
The name's Al.
Drazenka Vieracz.
I am glad we could enter into such amicable conversations. And just so we are not standing around thinking who is doing what or working for whom, I shall English a bit about myself and the reason why I come to you. I was once an ally of Shroske, until it reached my scales that he had been killed. From what knowledge I hold, yours are the hands that dealt his death. I have no doubt this was true, as you had also struck down Hurrickstram. If we were to enter into confrontation, it is highly probable one side would be quite decimated. So, instead, I extend a hand in ceasefire. I shall make it known to all Nagakin that you four are not to be trifled with. In return, you shall lay no hand or word on our kind.
That's not really a good deal because everything that's happened to us so far is us trying to protect other villages and stuff like that. We've not gone hunting for Naga or anything like that. We've just come across Naga that are doing things that are detrimental to the rest of the people in the area.
Maybe ask, did you come here on behalf of Yoshkaik or of your own volition before we continue this negotiation?
Lord Yoshkaik and myself are in discussions every now and then, though he had not sent me here. I am here in my own business, making sure investments aren't diluted and destroyed.
So you were nearby for this encounter. We haven't been here that long. You must have seen what happened. Or at least been in the vicinity, correct? We saw signs of someone
I
like
was
you.
close by, and I saw and heard the winds of Hurrickstram. Though normally he would contact one of us if something was awry. When there was no such discussion held, I felt something had gone so.
I see. I'm just going to look at the rest of the party, and I'm going to trust them to talk this through. If you need me, I'll be here. But you guys are the talkers.
And what became of the body of the Drake?
Hurrickstram has many a power that is quite valuable to us and our evolutions. Those that aren't too strong in their genes need his guidance. I merely propped him back up and sent him on his way. His time spent amongst this keep is at its end.
Wait, like necromantically or what?
Could be anything. Could be raised. Could be.
I
Sorry.
feel the means at which I brought him back would be a bit too much information to let go for free. Just know that you have, as I say, diluted his power somewhat. He is certainly a lot more open to suggestion now.
So, you just want us to leave Naga kind alone and let them go about their business doing whatever they please throughout the lands, is that right?
That would be the deal, yes.
We can't take that deal.
You come to us wanting an amicable deal, however, you are not even standing before us, either at all or as your true self. Why don't you reveal what you are hiding first?
The only thing I'm hiding right here is my true location. I am not too, confident that you would stay your hand even in your weakened state. From all reports, you've killed pretty much every Naga you've seen, besides those that are held within the settlements.
As I said before, if there are, as you have said, we've let Naga go who are amicable towards the life that's already here. The invading Naga, they have no quarter with us.
Says Zaire and says, we don't actively go and hunt out you, just the ones that are causing trouble.
And such meddling has been postponing plans here and there, and even severing some heads of parts of the organization.
Well, your plans are inflicting grief onto other parties. If anything, I feel like the deal needs to be ceasefire on your hand.
It is going to be both if this is to be going forward. The
Of
Naga
course.
should not be undergoing marginalization for much longer.
I feel like you should stop invading other lands and trying to claim them. And therefore, if you don't do that, there's no reason for us to fight back, so to speak.
There are ways to
I-
coexist. You are the ones choosing to invade and destroy.
We invade after the first trident was thrown on your side. We attempted amicable communications first, but they were met with claw and tooth. We will no longer be abiding by the treatment your kind has given to us. The land does not belong to those that already stand upon it.
It's a terrible roll.
It's a terrible role, and it's a terrible comprehension of his character.
Sorry, I was having a phone call. What happened?
Conversations. I don't know when you left.
Why are we sensing motive?
Hey, I took it as a class skill.
For me, I tried to see he claimed that basically we threw the first stone at them, and they tried
I'm
to be
seeing if
amicable.
there's
So
truth
is
in
he
his words.
actually is he being truthful about that, or just I don't know,
Gotcha.
skirting blame or something like that? It's hard to read for Drazenka.
Ow. You weren't anywhere near where any of this was happening at the time, so you don't know if it is true, but at least from what he is saying, he believes that to be true.
Even so, do you
By
think
what you mean, I wasn't around, but I'm assuming that just means I wasn't there, or maybe I wasn't there during the time of that event.
Correct.
Fine. You can only take... We're only taking your word on this. Although you seem truthful in what you say, it's hard to know that that's the actual truth. It's what you believe. Doesn't mean it's fact.
As is anything people say amongst conversation. Sadly, I've not brought with you all of the declarations and writings.
I feel like all of the sentient species should just be allowed to have equal rights and be able to work with each other. I don't know why we have to infight like this.
Well, it is a common thought amongst the land dwellers that Naga are still monsters, bereft of thought and unable to communicate properly, or even debate and make offerings such as this.
Got the wind back.
I mean, I've got my fan on, but I think it's coming from intro.
Breathing.
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm literally 3 feet away from my air conditioning system.
How dare you? Turn it off. Boil yourself.
Well, it's I think it's actually heating right now.
Oof.
It seems quite a steep price for us to not engage ourselves with you and you to not engage ourselves with us.
We don't
What exactly?
want to fight sentient beings. That's not our goal. All we're doing is protecting the settlements that we come across. Stop attacking settlements and we won't have to fight any Naga.
Give that command to your own species and have them understand it. Many of our kin who are not even involved in this war are being killed on sight, youngling taken from their hatches, and the teens who have no knowledge of what's going on are being slaughtered just for having scales.
Well, we're in no position to be able to speak on behalf of our species. You sound quite high-ranking, so you could.
The time has long since gone for actions out of faith. If I'm to just do something for your side, that makes your side in the war much more likely to win. Our settlements are not protected by dragons. We don't have deific beings looking out for us because we are below the ocean.
Sounds like you're on a losing battle then. Might as well quit while you're ahead.
Hold on, wait, why are there no deities down there? I thought there were some. Just makes sense.
None that answer our call, no. They most likely see us like many of you do, lowly beings that aren't worth a payment of prayer.
That's really sad. I'm very sorry for you.
Sorry does not bring back the younglings, or those that aren't meant for war. I can say it now. I have enough authority to stop the war at a moment's notice, but I will only do this if we are granted leave of the land. If not, then it shall continue until either side withdraws or dies.
How about this, then? We don't have the authority to do that, I'm sure you can understand. However, and I will look at the rest of the party before I say anything further on this, I believe we are not against a truce, at least between our party and yours. I'm just going to look at everyone else before I sort of continue. Is this fair?
As long as we're not attacked, or any of the places that are not attacked, then I can agree with that. Any town that we're in, or any civilians that we're near that are being attacked by Naga, we're going to defend them. Although, if, as you say, the word will be sent out that we're not to be trifled with, then maybe just our presence will be a protection enough.
Now, Drazenka, what are your thoughts?
I can agree to that. If we come across your kin that are not actively hostile to anyone who doesn't deserve it, I'm fine leaving them alone. But if at any point we encounter dealings when they are being the
Aggressors.
aggressive party, yes, I will not stand idle.
I am as the same as my party.
And on top of that, we are able to reach representatives of the dragons that rule the lands around here and in other places. We might be able to talk to them and see if they would be willing to come to an agreement as well. Can't promise anything because, like I said, or like Edwin and Al have said, we don't have that kind of power or authority of our own, but we can at least talk to them.
We can try to spread the word and plant the idea of a truce. However, we are for the most part strangers to these lands, so our word only carries so much power.
Edwin's typing.
Oh no.
Oh, sorry, I didn't want to interrupt. I was just going to get a quill and ink out and start writing up a short agreement. So we could actually sign it.
Sadly, if you are still on the course of interrupting Naga operations amongst the lands, I can accept any sort of deal you're giving like this.
How about this? You strike me as someone who's used to trade, correct? You wouldn't be here unless you were willing to make a deal of some kind. Your other representatives, such as Shroshke, simply engaged us on site. How about we sign a deal with you to not harm you or your people, and you do the same to our party and our, by extension, our immediate persons. So, in the same sense of your hatch or your brood, it would be the same for us. In addition to this, we can make an attempt to create a summit between you and the rulers of the, I wouldn't say major kingdoms, but at least some of the major settlements around here. How about that? And do you have any amendments or additions you wish to add?
If this is only to protecting me and my troops, that's not enough. Attacking any Naga you see that are doing business on the land, that is what I'm seeking.
Well,
Then-
we're not going to be attacking any Nagas that are just doing business. We're only going to be defending anybody.
You're very quiet, sure.
Sorry, I moved my mic out of the way so I wasn't breathing into it. We're not going to be attacking anybody on site or anything like that. The only reason we would even bring out our weapons is because Naga are attacking others. We're not going to stand by and just let the Naga attack people in our presence.
Yes, this would be a clause of self-defense, or as you would imagine, if we were to break into one of your nests, you would attack us, correct? This is a non-aggression pact, shall we say, between us and you and your people.
It's not so if you want to be protecting your villages from my kind.
Sorry, run that by me again, I didn't quite catch that.
His sticking point is that you should not be attacking any Naga, even if they are attacking other villages.
That's to be difficult.
Undergoing their rituals on the land.
God, my diplomacy is terrible. In that case, that's what I've got. I can't really push the point further.
And it sounds like with such black and white agreements, we cannot come to a conclusion here.
The deal can be shifted here and there, but I shall not be moving on the point of the Nagas to be left alone. Many of our operations are critical to our victory in this war. If you are to keep stopping them, your side just continues to get more legs upon us.
Then how about a time? This non-aggression pact would have a time aspect to it. If we are to put a whole stop on this, which, let's be honest, benefits you far more than it does us, then it needs to have some kind of benefit to our side. How about there is a time constraint to this non-aggression pact? Because if we are simply to leave you to devour our people, or the people of nearby lands who have done nothing to you, then our moral compass simply cannot allow that. So the only thing I can possibly give you is a timed non-aggression pact, where you do not attack us, and we do not attack you. Again, this can only extend to us. We cannot speak for the dragons or the other cities around here. I don't want to hurt you. I don't think, well, most of my party don't want that either.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Will this also include that motorcycle in the background?
We can't speak for the motorcycle, unfortunately. That's out of our remit.
It's just deciding to be a very long time outside my door. This non-aggression that you speak of, is it continually going to be, if you see my kin doing stuff, you'll attack them? Or not, amongst this time?
No.
We
This...
Go ahead.
If we are to agree with something like this, it would have to be complete. So we need to be very specific on what we are willing to give you here. Because as I'm sure you can imagine, if you were to slither through one of your nests and found adventurers attacking it, however you had signed a piece of paper to say you can't attack them, that wouldn't rub really well with you, which I think is what's coming across from the rest of my party. We are in a similar boat. So if we're going to sign this and say that that would be the case, it would need to have some very, very beneficial ramification.
I have a suggestion. Can we make it so that we don't attack any Nagas, but we can disarm and basically not hurt anybody, but make sure that the situation is ceased, whatever the situation we come across, at least while we're there.
That still goes against the one thing I'm saying. If you stop our operations, our war will be ending in death.
I mean, we're trying to work with you, but I just see no good coming of this from our side. Like, we've tried to give different variations on the terms, and nothing seems to work for you.
Then I
noticed-
believe a deal would not be brought here.
I know this means little, but I am sorry for for all the harm that has been done for you and your young ones. However, what you are doing, attacking settlements, is the exact same thing. Many innocents, many young people, many who have nothing to do with this war of yours are hurt. And while I am not defending what has done to your people, two wrongs do not make a right.
And even though we can't come to an agreement here on the terms that you are hoping for, I will let you know now that we're not going to go out and attack any Naga just for no reason. We will try to come to diplomatic solutions first. We're not going to just outright kill sentient beings for no reason. That's the best I can give you.
If only there was more amongst your kind that thought the same.
Well, we can also start spreading things like that around, and hopefully more individuals that are open-minded will come to see that as well.
I do not believe much will come of it. We've already attempted conversation even after our kin were killed. But it seems many of your leaders hold the land very high amongst their treasures.
Land is the most precious resource there is. You can understand why they would be concerned about giving it up. Even amongst our kind, wars, and just before I continue with this, wars have been fought over land, right? In the history of this world before.
Oh yeah. Just
Yeah.
not on the scale of Naga versus the land.
Maybe something can be arranged. I'm surprised the Dragon Givrenteth did not have any negotiation with you, seeing as their domain mostly encompasses the sea itself. But we can try to do something.
You guys, your species seems to be able to modify its natural resistances and stuff like that over time. I don't. You might try finding an abandoned place that other humanoids can't really live in very well, and maybe adapt yourself to a place like that and just make a village. They wouldn't be able to stop you. They wouldn't want to.
Well, attempts like that have also led to many deaths.
That's unfortunate.
Then it seems negotiations have come to an end, which I am sorry for.
We will at the very least bring your words to others in power and see if anything can come of that. But as you said, it may not. We don't wish you any personal ill will, or the Nagas in general ill will. We just don't want to be attacked. I hope to see you again someday and under peaceful terms.
It is almost certainty that we shall be seeing each other if you are to continue moving across our operations. And if they are to continue to be dealt with. It would calm me mostly if your kind would come to a summit as you speak. But for how long this war has gone, I'm doubtful it will see that end.
Maybe if we come with a more flexible mindset and you do the same, there's a possibility there.
If you need a bigger image, that is what it looks like.
Farewell, Racket. I'm not even going to attempt to say his whole name, so I'm just going to call him Racket.
Mm-hmm. I was guessing
Racket
some of
Jaraga.
you would shorten
Said
his
it
name
earlier.
to Racket.
Zaren's just walking away at this point.
Does Edwin and Drazenka have anything left to say?
Not really. Official agreement or not, I can at least for my part uphold what I promised. I will not attack any Naga that are not currently hostile to anything else or the aggressors of the situation.
You'll find that many Naga who have no knowledge of what's going on would do the same.
I'm staying quiet because at the end of the day, Edwin is not a very good talker.
I will wish you luck in your endeavors if you are to reach an agreement with the other land dwellers. But until that time comes, I hope we are able to skirt around each other. Racket Jaraga's body will then whir and dissipates as if he was made of smoke.
Good spot, seeing that they weren't really here, Drazenka. I don't know how you did it, but
Will save.
fair enough.
I fumbled Al's will save on it.
It was somewhat similar
Of
to
course
what
you did.
Al spotted on when we were meeting with Froirai, who we still thought was Brenna.
I see. Well, let's get out of this tomb. Looks like the Naga are still quite fierce on what they wish, which I understand. But, I mean, they seem to be something we forgot to ask. They seem to be targeting the followers of Shiva. And I don't understand why. You all remember that grief witch, don't you? And the village that was destroyed of Shiva worshippers.
That was, I would have assumed that was just a, well, coincidence in a sense. That is the only time I know of that Shiva was targeted.
But they were trying to find more magical ice means before in the mountains. And of course there was
Also because
Shursuke.
of the environment.
Indeed. Maybe I'm just thinking too much into it. It's been a long day.
Hey, you know Zaire went the other way, right?
Yeah, he just went for the gates.
Let's get out of here. is it? Are we just gonna walk back, or?
Are
Yeah,
we
if you want to leave, you
going-
can leave.
Are we going to go back to Brennus?
Don't think so. Don't think. Though,
No,
as we are leaving, I have one thing to do. As we are leaving and walking through the ruins, Drazenka's gonna linger back just a little, looking around, looking at them into the broken buildings that we're going past. Almost like she's looking for something, but she'll follow you as we fully leave the place.
Do I spot her doing this?
I mean, you can see that she's kind of keeping a little bit of distance, like coming a bit slower than the rest of you and looking around.
I
Not
would
exactly
probably
hiding.
drop back and say, "You look like you're looking for something. I'm pretty good at finding things."
I'm not sure. It's just there's something. It's probably nothing, but there's something familiar about this place to me.
Have you been here before?
Possibly. I recognized the name when Florai told us about it. I think it's somewhere I went by when I was still with my tribe.
I don't remember you ever mentioning that you've ever traversed the Dragon's Spine before.
I wasn't probably very clear about it. It was. My tribe is a nomadic one. We traveled around quite a bit, and we mostly avoided settlements and other people. We like to keep to ourselves. That's why I'm curious as to why I would remember a place like this so well. Well, not well, but to remember it. Especially a place as lively as and noisy as I remember it being talked about.
What happened to this village is terrible.
It is.
What seems familiar about it? I can see you looking in the buildings. Do you recognize any specific one? Maybe we could have a closer look.
I mean, do I? Or is it just a feeling of familiarity in general?
It's just in general, nothing in particular in the buildings sets this off, no.
Nothing stands out specifically. It's just. And well, maybe it would if it was still the place it used to be, but
Well,
now that
if
things
you've
calmed
traveled-
down, I just wanted to take another look. I'm
Yeah?
sure it's nothing.
If you've traveled through this village, maybe you've traveled through some of the other places along Dragon's Spine. Maybe it'll
It is
jog a
possible.
memory.
It is possible.
If you remember anything specific and you want to see if we can find it, just let me know. I'll see if I can help.
I'll keep an eye out. Thank you, Al. I was quite young, and like I said, we mostly avoided any settlements and others. But there's always a chance.
Maybe.
They'll catch up and. Sorry to keep you all waiting. Probably start making camp soon, yes?
Yes. I saw you two talking. Is everything all right?
Yes, everything's fine. I just. There was something familiar about this city.
I see. Did you want to stay here?
Some of
This-
these buildings have roofs and 4 walls.
Might jog your memory.
It's probably safe enough, but it is also quite a sad place to be in amidst all this destruction.
I'm sure Al could sing us a song. Cheer us up a little.
I'm sure that once
I'm
people
not into the
realize
singing kind.
I'm sure that once people realize that the dragon is gone, that they'll start coming back and rebuilding this place. It won't take very long.
Come, let's find somewhere with a roof in here. You're right, this place is full of sadness, and maybe we can bring a little bit of joy while we're here, even if it's just a good meal. All ice breaks eventually.
Zaire's stomach grumbles.
See?
Speaking of, there is that ring of sustenance that I took off if anybody else would like to make use of it.
I currently have an open ring slot.
Go for it. I'm good as I am. Al's already eating.
Like, took off the ring of sustenance.
Yeah, I took the ring of protected life and swapped it with the sustenance.
Okay.
I'd rather keep the AC.
Oh, I better start making the fire then.
Is Zaire input on the ring of sustenance?
Yeah, at least until we find something better to do with it. Or
Alright.
find a better ring for him.
Do we have rations or do we want to hunt? Or does I want to hunt?
I
Is
will
there
hunt.
anything to hunt?
Can I go hunting? I want to go hunting.
You can try.
She's going hunting.
It takes some time due to the area being pretty barren from the dragon's presence, but we were able to couple together a lot of vegetation that grows amongst the place. Sadly, nothing in the way of meat.
You see, Al will probably come back with a very disappointed look on her face. No meat.
I suppose it makes sense if this was a dragon's hunting grounds.
Indeed. It's okay. We'll make it up to you next time we get to town.
I'll still make do with what I have and try to cook something up. She is distracted.
Still, it's a rather good meal. It's better than the rations.
Not like super tasty, but it's homey.
And it's warm.
Yeah.
Is the party to do anything else before they sleep or during their rest?
Nope.
Just updating my journals in terms of the effects that are on us and what I need to do to try and fix them.
During her watch time, Drazenka's gonna kind of absent-mindedly make use of her crafting skills and or sculpting skills. And just to kind of semi-absent-mindedly take a piece of rock and start crafting on it. And I think and she's gonna not really thinking about it, but it's gonna start looking like kind of like a paw print of a big cat.
You can certainly carve a paw print into the rock.
Just looking at the abandoned city at night and thinking about how she's getting closer and closer to her tribe and all that.
Alright. Owl, when it comes to yours and Edwin's watch, looking over the vicinity, still a bit windy as you are atop a mountain, you do see in the distance the glinting of moonlight against the creature's eyes. As you look across its frame in the dim moonlight, the creature looks ever so familiar. Along with it are 3 others as they make a pack of 4. The creatures stare over in your direction, possibly eyeing the flames and remains of food from your meal. As you scan them for any signs of aggression, it seems they have better instincts than to attack your party outright, or possibly still just fearing the dragon's return. However, continuing to look over the creatures, a pang in the back of your head starts to arise, as a memory from long ago surfaces. And to your recollection, these are the same monsters that you and Drazenka had fought in your first meeting. And I say monster because you never wrote what monster you fought.
You're actually very true. I never did. You're probably... If it's Edwin, you said, is with me, didn't you?
Yeah, you and Edwin.
You would probably see Owl's sort of body expression and facial expression turn quite aggressive. And she looks sort of quite angry, but partially embarrassed at the same time.
What is it now? You were just telling me about some of your home and you've just gone silent. What is it?
It's those creatures. The ones I lost to when I met with Drazenka. Over there, can't you see?
My eyes aren't as good as yours. Right, okay. What are they? I can't see from here.
Al's got to sort of just not charge forward at them, but she's going to stomp towards them.
But the creatures scurry away as soon as you start to take steps towards them.
Seem they must be scared of me.
You have?
They're stronger in numbers, you see.
I can imagine. And you were less experienced than you are now. Becoming a real dragon.
Trying to be. Trying to live up to my family. Especially my father, who you'll be soon to meet.
Indeed. And, well, I suppose you can now tell them that not only have you defeated another dragon, but you've defeated the things that tried to defeat you. Looks like you've got a little bit of nick on the scoreboard.
Not that you can really remind me. I felt like I didn't do much in that last dragon fight. I would have really liked to have been able to sink my teeth into it.
It's better than myself. I didn't make it very far at all.
Yes, you did fall. How do you feel? I've not fell yet. I've come close, but not actually passed.
It's a very strange feeling.
Is it something you can fix?
Not yet. I'm trying to make notes on it and figure out how I could do it, but the ability escapes me at the moment. Although the cold, it reminds me of a way of maybe I can emulate that effect in time.
In the meantime, there might be someone in my village that might be able to help you. At least alleviate some of the symptoms.
Maybe. Well, all I can say is I wouldn't recommend it.
Well, all the time I have you around, hopefully I should never meet that end.
I intend to.
Maybe this time,
But I think-
if Zairin doesn't attract the enemies, I might actually be able to protect you.
Don't be so hard on him. At the end of the day, it was just a bad day. Tomorrow will hopefully be a better one.
Someone that's got big ears is not the best on listening. Or seeing, in that fact.
We all have our strengths, Al.
Yes, and mine are mighty. I could list them off, but I'd probably put you to sleep.
Indeed, we may fall short of your expectations.
You see Al almost like she's get clonked at the back of the head. Just sort of flinches. Was that a short joke?
No, I was saying that you were much higher above us than our estimates can to give.
Hmm.
Oh, and I meant to ask you, do you know anything about this dance?
Dance?
The Dance of the Lilies, what we're supposed to...
Daisies.
Daisy, sorry.
Daisies.
That we're supposed to give with the Ronso. Maybe Drazenka might know, but you two are from the area.
It's the first I've heard of it, but I know someone in my village that might know more.
Okay. And... well, that's good to know. I would say you should probably be a little bit... maybe ease up on Siren. At the end of the day, they're doing this all from their own back. They don't have a personal stake in this apart from us. It's one of the most selfless things I've ever seen.
You have a point. Although, being tough on him reminds him of his strength. So I'm not going to ease up.
Alright, Al. By the way, I need to have a look at your wings. You've got some holes in them.
Yeah, sure.
And I'll just, spend a little bit of the time, if Al's alright with it, just sewing back a few of the little scrapes and cuts. Because I'm sure Al just gets, like, the amount you get hit. I know you get healed, but it's just, like, little cosmetic stuff that I try and fix up for you every so often.
Yep. While Al's got her back to Edwin, she is going to, like, apprehensively keep looking out to where those creatures were. With, just a little bit of sorrow that she couldn't face them again.
And aside from that, the night will go without issue. However, both Drazenka and Edwin can both make a will save for me, please.
Give me 2 days to develop what's natural will save. What the fuck? Jesus.
What?
I
Wonderful.
was about to say it's my bone gonna kick in, but that ain't gonna help me.
No,
it's not gonna help me
it's
at all.
not the morning yet. What did you say, G?
Wonderful indeed.
All right. Drazenka and Edwin, as you are sleeping, not exactly a full-on dream, more as if when you're ruffling around in your bedrolls, or possibly finding a bed in the houses, moving around to your side to get to a more comfortable position, you almost feel as if there is someone at your back. There are hands wrapping around and giving you a hug. Your body doesn't seem to move and you don't seem to really react. It just seems as if there is either a familial or a very calming sensation near you. As you awaken the next morning, possibly putting on your battle garb or moving around clothing, you will notice the claw and bite scars that you gained from the dragon have pretty much turned into scars overnight and have a strange blue hue to them as they are cold to the touch.
G, do you want to go first?
Sure, I think, yeah, Drazenka's the first one to realize them, because probably easier to notice on Edwin, him being a human all. Edwin, are you alright?
I don't know. Something feels strange. Sort of reaches up to his neck where one of the talons had gone through it. Ah! What is that? Trying to pull out a mirror, trying to look for it. What is it? Did you do something?
No, it was not me. And that's when she's also gonna look at her own wounds to notice the similarity. Did you feel it last night?
I thought I was having a nightmare. So you're telling me you had the arms?
Yes, but to me it wasn't scary.
Maybe it wasn't, but... this doesn't make any sense. There's no way we can try and track down this phenomenon, right? I'm assuming there isn't, but Edwin's trying to rack his brain for some reason as to why this would happen.
Not particularly, no. It'll just be down to your own theories.
The others are awake.
Yes. This is during your morning preparations.
Excuse me, you two. Can we have a look at you as well? There's something that happened to us last night. I want to see if anyone else has been affected.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Have a look. I'm hardly dressed for the weather.
Edwin's doing his mother hen routine, running around looking at stuff. No, you're all fine. You've just got
What
stitching.
Is this something to do with the dragon? Maybe the fact that you both went down.
Maybe, but... Drazenka, is this a common occurrence? I've never seen...
But you said something happened, but you don't tell me what it is. What's going on?
Our wounds appear to have frozen closed. But that's
Whoa,
impossible.
That's cool. Does it hurt? It'll poke it.
Ow!
Oh, sorry.
What is this? This isn't magic I know of.
I've never experienced it or heard of this before myself, but I think it was her, Edwin. She's with us.
Edwin just looks confused and a bit shocked.
I mean, this does seem like the Lady of Ice's kind of domain.
Kind of slumps a little bit.
She watches over her flock, and I think she really wants you to be in it, Edwin. If you'll have her.
Please, not the evangelism this morning.
There are many benefits. No.
You've got a pamphlet, it's got like all the little specifics on it. Well, I suppose I'm indebted now. What do you do to pay back a god? Most things in this world are an exchange of some kind, Zahiran.
Maybe it's
Maybe
payment instead of a debt.
Maybe.
We don't know.
Right, well, I'll stop being melodramatic now. You'll sort of get up. Well, if this is from your deity, I thank her and you.
Does it have any other effects? Is it just cosmetic? Do you feel better now?
I don't rightly know.
As I say, it's almost as if it's scarred over instantly, so it's pretty much as healed as a cut is going to be that is that deep. So instead of taking a month or so, it was done overnight.
So, to be very clear, mechanically, do we still have the drain?
Mechanically, nothing changes.
Okay, cool.
Just
fine,
like
so
when you are like a medic, so you would like put sutures and patches on and all that. So now it's just completely
Yeah.
healed up.
Yeah, which is
Than
why
to,
he's
like,
so...
a semi-open wood still.
He's just very confused, because as you say, this would normally take a very long time to fix. And also the manner of its healing is just baffling.
I still have scabs from my surgery.
Exactly.
Hopefully you've got cream for the itching of it.
It really doesn't itch that much. It's mostly just irritating that it's there. It's not gone yet.
Sounds
Drazenka,
like you need
is
to
this some-
start respecting Shiva.
Yeah.
I respect her, as I respect all beings of great power. I just don't understand the interest. Right, well. Drazenka, is there a at least basic prayer that you can lead me through in gratitude?
If you'd like to join me for my morning prayers, I'm happy to have you.
You don't have to sound quite so smug about it, but yes, I will join you for your morning prayers.
I would never, Edwin.
It's a good thing that you know I can't read you. I'm gonna go. Yeah, do a basic morning prayer with Drazenka in thanks. Because it is
Yeah,
quite
it's
impressive.
just basically like her usual, the half an hour cleric thing to get her MP back, so the same thing. She would like add like one line for thank you for your everlasting guidance and watching over us, but nothing too special.
Edwin, make me a wisdom check.
Wisdom check, press will. Fuck.
Yeah, wisdom.
So that
13,
is
whatever your wisdom is.
just one less, so 14.
Alright. You give a prayer after Shiva.
I want to be very clear. It's a thank you, kind regards, Edwin kind of prayer. You know, if I didn't know better, I think you were a plant for some kind of divine being, Drazenka.
It's hard to tell what each of us is planned or destined for.
I suppose so.
But
Stop
in more
smirking,
serious note, if I would never. I do not think you need to worry about repayment or anything like that with her.
Well,
She watches over
still
her
trying to
people, and she, at least in my anything I've learned, she asks for nothing in return. If you give it, you can give willingly, or you can go your own way. Your life and your decisions are your own.
I'm still trying to work out those visions. The grief witches and the most recent one we had with the corridors. This is the problem. I don't know if my life is my own anymore. I seem to be on some kind of track. Been on for quite some time, but I may tell my mother, you two have got your own familial issues to look at, and well, Zarin is doing what Zarin does, being one of the best friends we have.
Zaren's like 3 feet away, not paying attention to the conversation at all, just like oiling and cleaning his stock.
I thought you said boiling then. I was like, whoa.
No, oiling. Just doing maintenance on his gear.
Have you thought
Completely-
anything?
Completely
Oh, go on.
oblivious to your guys' conversation.
I was speaking to Al last night and they reminded me of something. Did you think about those visions that you got? Not the cup, the other ones. More recently. With the corridor.
Yes, I do think about them time to time. The thing about deities, Shiva or anybody else, they cannot really force you on any path or another. They can show us ways, they can give us visions, they can persuade people to follow them or to follow their causes. They cannot force anyone to do anything against their will. We are all here for our own volitions, Edwin.
I don't know about that. I'll take your point, though. I think something of that level of power can do, frankly, whatever they want, but
And it would not benefit them. Deities get their powers from their followers. If they just brainwashed everyone, that wouldn't. I do not think that would equate to the same amount of power.
no, but giving power normally requires acts of service, does it not? Our friend.
But if they need to spend that power to gain the power, it is at no cost.
Look, we could argue the semantics of deific power and prestige all day. I don't think these two are going to particularly enjoy it, though. I will say I'd win that engagement, though. Right, okay, we're leaving. Bye. But no, in all seriousness, I see your point. I'm just a bit worried about... It may be hard to explain, maybe it's hard to understand for you, as it is hard to understand for me. You are a person of faith. It sustains you, it gives you power. I live in a very material world. I am not a material girl, however.
Oh, I was going to make that joke.
Jokes aside, I see the things as they are. You see a power of a deity, and I see the magical formula that pull together and the hand signs and the prayers that you make. Going to be. Even Zairin is affected by this power to a very small degree. And frankly, the dragons are of a power great enough that you could see them as deities. I'm sure many people do. And Ao is turning into one. I fear a day is going to come where all of you are going to be in the realm of the divine and I will not be. And that's not jealousy. It's just a case of schools of thought.
You have your own legacy you're creating here, Edwin. You already cured one disease, and we're on our way to figure out another. That alone will live on its own life in many a medical book and record for future generations.
Oh, I'm not worried about my legacy. I mean, I'm flattered, but what I'm saying is I'm just struggling to understand. And maybe that will come in time. But it's still there.
Well,
You've
that's
devoted
why
your
it's called
life.
faith, at least in my case.
I know, and I don't have any. And then for some reason this is happening, which is very confusing.
Well,
It's a bit
we
like if you-
all understood how it worked, there would be no need for faith there.
But if we understood how it worked, then we could at least justify... Okay. It doesn't matter. thank you, Shiva, for this.
You get a like emoji from Twitter.
God damn it. I see your point, Drazenka, I do. I'm not trying to dismiss it. I'm just saying that we could debate this for hours if we wanted to.
I'm sure we already have.
We have, indeed. I remember those nights in the hall, although the mother did very much wish to convert me. Not entirely sure why. I think it was for the library. She never did like bookkeeping.
Well, we can continue another time.
Okay.
I think those two are starting to get restless.
I noticed that when Al starts hopping from one foot to the other, she really wants us to go.
Are we ready yet?
Yes, we are. And thank you, Drazenka. I understand what you're trying to do.
And same as you, Edwin. I mean it when I say that you should feel no pressure or anything. She sees something in you and wants to support you in that, but it is completely up to you if you truly convert or if you wish for a different path.
Maybe. Then I would ask something of you then, if you would hear me, before we leave.
Anything.
Speak up about your own wants and needs. You seem to wish to help everyone but yourself. And sometimes being selfish is the most selfless act you can do. That's all.
I could give those same words back to you sometimes.
I didn't say I wasn't a hypocrite. Alright, let's leave.
Wait, my
I see.
boots aren't all the way on yet.
You didn't even wear shoes, Zaire, what are you waiting for?
He
Yes,
wears
I
boots
do.
with a cat.
Oh yeah, like foot wraps of the cat.
It'll take me a moment to get the chocobos calmed down. And I'll do the usual. Give everybody a mage armor and get the chocobos.
As he's passing by, Zaire will just give Drazenka and Edwin each a hug.
What's this for?
I don't know.
Thank you, Zaire.
The dichotomy of this party. We'll give one back. Come on now, you might as well get in here where you can.
I don't do that.
I might not be the most proficient at noticing things, but sometimes I just get a feeling that someone needs a hug.
That is a very good instinct to have, Zaire. And I appreciate it.
Just don't hug
Perhaps
anyone
more
with
than
a disease.
others.
Oh, is that Edwin?
That's a very good skill to have. Please don't hug anyone with an open wound or a disease.
But they might be the ones that need it the most.
And if you do not know the person, it is usually good to ask first.
That's true.
Well,
But the thought is very sweet.
it is. Let's go then. We've got a ways to go. And I'm sure that Al wishes to see their family.
You mean we're going now? You guys stopped
Yes,
hugging and
Al.
everything?
My apologies, we didn't want to bring you up short on that.
No, it's fine. But if you want to go, you guys are kind of got to let go of each other.
Okay, I realise we are in a small situation of time. Let's go. Just a
Edwin.
minor inconvenience.
You know that Lovely frozen wound. I can make it open again for you.
Please don't. Threatening a physician. Some people would find that a defense.
That's on the Geneva checklist.
What's Geneva?
I don't know.
Oh, come on then.
Alright.
Pathfinder, show us the way.
With the morning routines finished, you summon up your Chocobo mounts and continue heading on your way. Moving northwest, everyone, though possibly Drazenka and Al, feel this a bit less, as you pass the borders of East Company into the lands of Pardini. You almost get a sense of being away from home, devoid of your proper laws and possibly at risk of attack. Once it is not a very immediate sensation, you do feel as if you may have to tread waters a bit more carefully. However, this becomes more evident as you get closer to Emberclaw Refuge. As a short distance away from the settlement, the party will come across a quintet of humanoids atop red-coloured chocobos. The people are draped in gold, reds, and shimmering silver, their heads covered in jagged crown helmets that cover their faces, except for the dots of their eyes. The leader, whose back is adorned with a tall spear ending in silver, approaches the party. Hail, adventurers. You look able of body and equipment. It is not often you find lower experienced ones with adamantine gear. We have a task for you if you'll accept it.
Oh, what's the task?
The man throws his thumb over his shoulder as he points towards Emberclaw Refuge. There is a newcomer to the land of Emberclaw Refuge, a medic masquerading as a man of goodwill. However, they are a scourge of the lands. As per Pardini law, this vampire must be eradicated, though the inhabitants of the four Greer settlements are within a sort of diplomatic immunity state, as their tribes were here before certain laws were passed. We attempted conversation, but met with expulsion. If you agree to kill this vampire, we shall reward you handsomely. We have means that you will not be identified as the do-gooders.
What did they do?
What they do is continue to exist.
Oh, did they harm somebody?
Vampires require the essence of living creatures to continue their own unlife. It is a desecration upon our laws, and as stated within such, they are to be destroyed. Drazenka, whilst the man is a bit monotone in his delivery and possibly a bit overly formal, what he says he believes to be true, and as far as you can tell, there's no nefariousness behind it besides killing a vampire. Edwin, you kind of get the sense that this is a military man through and through, and it's hard to gauge much more than what he is saying. And Al, you got no clue. He's a dude in armor. You can hardly recognize his intentions through his mask.
Fair enough.
Would
I'm
that also
sure,
be enough? Like, is this his own intent, or is he kind of just following orders, or does he seem to have any personal stake in it, or is that too much to ask?
You would feel like 90% of it is orders. 10%, it seems like he believes it himself and is getting a bit of pride from that, but it's mostly orders.
Okay.
I feel before we take on this, we should at least converse with the Greer in the village. Maybe there's a reason they're harboring them.
If you are to converse with the Greer and mention this vampire, I believe your cooperation with us would be at an end, as they would not accept what we are to have you do.
Have you had dealings with Emberclaw before, Al?
we've had dealings with all the villages, and they all have their own reasons, but they're all very good. So I put my foot down when I say I want to discuss with the Griers before taking on this job. And if you say that it's the end of the job, then so be it. I won't go against my tribe.
At least for any forward knowledge, Al, the last time you'd come through here, you had no recollection of any vampires anywhere near, at least not living in the settlements themselves. This vampire would have been new and since you've been gone.
Yeah, so it leads more into the reason of Al would like to know why the Grier are harboring a vampire then.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she believes that they would have a good reason as to why they would be. So it's not to say that Al won't not get rid of the vampire, but she wants to converse with the Griers first to find out why they're harboring the vampire. And then she'll make her judgment based on their reasoning.
How long ago did this vampire appear in Emberclaw?
This vampire, known as O'Main, has been within Emberclaw for at least a year. It had taken some time for reports to get to us, as the inhabitants of the settlement do not see to the law of undead eradication.
So just to be clear, you guys don't care how an undead acts, whether it's sentient or not. It just is required to be eradicated. Sorry, I'm new to this land. I don't know the rules and whatnot yet.
You could roll knowledge local to see if you do understand the laws.
I mean, I could try, but knowledge is not one of my strong points. Knowledge local. I got 1 point. We'll see. 9.
You
Can
got
it be
no
untrained?
clue on the foreign stuff.
Yeah.
If you do untrained, it's maxed at 10, and you wouldn't get enough information from that, no.
Okay.
Just listening to this. Sorry, was that a check for the local laws or local custom? Because I would be interested.
Yes,
Local laws
Local, do you
about
say?
undead.
it is local.
Wait, local's about undead?
No,
No,
local
it's
is about
about
the
laws.
laws surrounding
Oh.
the,
But that's
the
what we're kind of
outlaw
asking about.
vampires.
Got you.
I take it Edwin is trained in local, so it didn't pop up.
Yes, I've got every language as a there are
Every
5
knowledge.
skills that I'm not trained in.
Every language. Man's bilingual.
I've got a lot of fucking languages as well.
More than bilingual.
You'd be a
Multilingual.
polyglot.
Polyglot.
Yeah, bilingual is 2 languages. Polyglot is having more than 3.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
And
9,
smart.
10. I've got
Yeah,
12. Anyway,
Edwin, to your knowledge, it is definitely in Pardini law that basically vampires are illegal and they are to be killed on sight. It also extends to a lot of other undead creatures. There are a few exceptions here and there, but they are very, very limited. And just as the man said, the 4 Grier settlements, since they are tribes that lived here before some of these laws were established, they are kind of like their own states, and they don't have to agree to the laws, but they are within the area of them. So if there is a vampire in them, people who live in Pardini and the law, you'd get permission from that settlement to basically exact out their laws.
okay. And just very quick, I'll just say to the party, like, as this is being told, I'll just let them know that this is the case. Did you say we've left East Company lands now?
Yes.
Yes, you are currently on the edge of the Pardini lands.
Okay. I will hold something in my back pocket in case negotiations go a bit sour, but that was it. Sorry, didn't mean to intrude.
Yeah, so it sounds like you want us to eliminate a sentient creature who has done probably nothing actually wrong other than existing, because your laws that are superseded by these Grier tribes are not being upheld because they supersede your laws. Does that sound about right?
You are correct, Sir Cockern.
Alright. Bye. He just walks away or kicks his chocobo into motion.
Did the rest of the party leave as well?
I'm staying quiet just to let other people leave because I do talk a fucking lot, so I'm sorry about that.
I mean,
No, she's fine. She's moving on.
I'm just Zaren's going. He's leaving. Didn't even answer
Right.
their request or anything like that with a yay or a nay. He's just taking off.
I appreciate your concern about the situation, but as our friend explained it, I understand that Emberclaw Refuge is free to make their own judgment about this individual. And if they do not wish for them to be upheld to this law, then that is mostly their business. And we are also not of these lands, so do not see if we are at the position to agree one way or another.
Very well. We shall just instead wish you a safe and pleasant visit to Pardini.
Thank you for your offer, and take care. If you wish for any medical attention while we are here, I realise this license may be a little bit out of our remit, but if you do have any help, any aid required, do let me know. And I will just show him the East Company license.
He'll look at and nod. We observe your rights to medical assistance in these lands. You may do as you wish.
Thank you.
Safe travels to you all as well.
Alright. As the party leave the 5 vampire hunters behind, or just lawkeepers, you continue on towards Emberclaw Refuge. And whilst within sight, it's possible it's going to take some time to get to it on Chocobo back, possibly 10 minutes, as we will take our break here.
Alright.
Alrighty.
And I shall be right back.
Uh,
Start the screen. Make sure you've turned on both our sound and yours.
Yep, all on.
They hath returned.
Moving away from the 5 law enforcers of the land, you finally make your way into Emberclaw Refuge. The village, whilst not overly full of populace, is quite wide. Many houses builded atop several of the mountains, with kind of creaking in the wind bridges. At the gates of the mountainous walls, a couple Grier approach the party. Whilst they are not guards, they are draped in pieces of metal, though more akin to jewellery than armour. One of them holds out a book to Drazenka, kind of like leaning upwards to her. The other hands a smoking kebab to Al, as they speak to Al. Welcome to Emberclaw Refuge. Have you been here before, miss?
Yes, I've been here before. Many short short visits. I'm originally from Shadowrock Hollow.
Then you are tribe's kinsman. We welcome you to Emberclaw Refuge, and we hope you have a pleasant stay. If you have been here before, I shouldn't have to point you to anything that's important around here, but if you need a refresher, just make sure to ask.
It's been a while since I've been around, so unless you've had anything new in place, then I might need a refresher on that. But we've heard word that there's potentially a newcomer in this village from about a year ago.
You'd have to be more specific. We do get newcomers every so often.
Well, we were approached by a guard from Pandini, speaking from Pandini on the way here. They mentioned that there's a vampire staying in these places. It's quite uncommon for you guys to keep a vampire that's not a Grier in the parts, is it not?
The Grier stamps his foot, probably out of annoyance. Ah, yes. The damn guards at this place. I say this place, Pardini in general. They always come here asking if we're keeping up the law. But we just send them off to the chiefs to remind them that we're not under their rule. They're probably asking you about the vampire that lives here, yeah?
Yes, that's correct.
Well, you're not touching our medic. He's been here for a year and he's done nothing but good.
And that's what I said to the guard. I said you must have your reasons for it, and I'm sure it's good ones. So therefore we, and my party here behind me, said that we'd have no help for them.
Well, I shall thank you for upholding our own rules. If you do need to see him for yourself, the medic is always open. I'm sure you've had some scrapes and bruises along your journey on the mountains to get here.
Aye, I have, but I have my own medic in the party. I'll introduce you to Edwin. I'm sure he might want to meet with your medic as well. I'm sure they could discuss notes.
The Grier holds their hand up towards Edwin.
Good day. I'll shake him.
I think he's asking for your license, Edwin.
Ah,
No, just shaking hands.
Oh, okay. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. I'm Zahiran.
Nice to meet you, Zahiran. Welcome to Emberclaw Refuge.
Oh, what's the book they were holding up?
Did Drazenka take it?
If she's already, yeah.
She is. If you take the book, it's not overly thick, and it just seems to be a primer of Emberclaw Refuge in particular. It's almost like a tourist's guide of places to visit, their local trades, as well as some diagrams of nearby lava moats and the ore taken out from within, as well as several directions to make your way to the other Grier villages.
I am Drazenka, pleasure to make your acquaintance.
And yours? That'd be 20 grass, please.
Certainly. I'll hand it over.
No. This is one of my tribesmen. I'll pay for this. You keep your money. And I will hand over the 20 gross.
Right.
Thank you, miss.
Thank you, Al.
You're welcome.
Do you have any questions about Emberclaw Refuge, or do you wish to have a guide for the village?
Well, would anybody else like to know anything more? Or we could maybe head over to the medic's village. The medic's house.
just the one. Do you have a inn with baths at all?
Oh yes,
hot
we do
springs.
have quite a inn, and you're just in luck. They have a heat geyser nearby that allows us to have a perpetually hot sauna.
Excellent. I look at Zaire as I ask this.
Huh? What's up?
They have baths.
Oh, baths.
Quite
Warm
the
baths.
exquisite kinds as well.
Where's they at? Point me at them.
It's been a long journey. Perhaps we start by securing us rooms and then go visit this medic.
Indeed, I could do with selling some of my equipment as well. Is that possible here?
Oh, this is definitely the place to sell. This is where they make most of the equipment for the villages.
We certainly have a few places for you to go to. There's the general store, there's the blacksmith, and of course the newly established medic.
Excellent. Well, we'll go to the medic then, because I don't know how expensive the treatment we're going to ask them for may be. Would you mind directing us to the inn, unless, Al, you wish to take us there?
I'm sure I can kind of remember the way.
And we have this to help. Kind of waves the pamphlet around.
Ah, yes.
Well, if there's nothing else, we will again hope you have a pleasant stay. The two Greer will then walk back into the village proper.
This is very nice. Al, I realise this isn't Shadowrock Hollow, but welcoming, nonetheless.
Oh, yeah. All the villagers are welcoming, unless you prove as a threat.
Is Al eating the kebab she was giving?
Yeah.
To your fancy is a skewer with a few onions and potatoes, but it has many a variety of meat on it.
Haha. It's so good to be back.
Do you have anyone here you would like to meet up with, Hao?
No, there's no one in particular. Like I say, I used to maybe come and do some short visits here, so didn't really get on many first name basis with people. Most of my main friends are back in Shadowrock Hollow.
All right. To the inn then?
Whereas
Indeed.
To the inn.
Alright, heading towards the inn, you go up and down the mountainside quite a bit until you reach a higher platform. A large inn sits atop it, as there is a black stone statue at the front depicting a dragon. The most decorated part of which is its golden tail. Almost as if, oh god, somebody had a low tag there. Almost as if the rest of the statue is not of any importance and mostly clean black. The tail has all of the decorations given to it. From the back, you can see jets of steam puff up every so often, as the geysers are currently and possibly always active.
Sorry about that. I figured I had to blow my nose and you didn't want to hear that either, so.
Still heard like a weird static from you.
Yeah, anytime I push the mute button on my headset, it does a little bit of static. So I figured
How
I'd
dare.
rather have a little bit of static than hearing my honking nose go off.
It's a very impressive piece of engineering they have here.
I just need to go to the nearest one. Where is it?
Calm down, it's okay. It's not going to go anywhere.
You don't know what it's like having fur that's been frozen and matted with dirt for weeks on end.
I can't say I do.
Right, Drazenka?
I have offered to use my cantrip on with you.
It's not the same.
Not quite, but it helps, I find.
It does, but
Cannot help with the clothes, unfortunately.
yeah. I'm just ready for a real bath, that's all.
Well, looks like we've come to the right place for that. Shall we?
Absolutely.
Yes.
As we enter.
Entering the inn, the hall is rather abuzz with activity. Many Griya are currently stationed here and drinking or having their evening meals. A much taller Griya at the back that you could have sworn was possibly an aura instead waves you over.
Head on over.
The approach. Yeah.
Welcome to Elbaclaw Refuge, and you've come to the Geyser Inn. Are you here on touristy business, or are you wanting to settle on down in our little abode?
We're here to find a couple rooms just for the night.
And a bath. Don't forget the bath.
Oh, sorry. And a bath for the smelly one.
The access to the baths and saunas are all access to anyone who buys our 50 gross rooms and above. If you buy the 20 gross group rooms, you will obviously pay for the bath separately. He will then show you the menu, as it were, on offer for the rooms you could have. It only goes up to the inn premium small rooms.
Okay.
We'll hand over her 50 gross.
Yep, same.
I don't even know if I have that much. Hold on. I have one gil, so I'll hand over the gil and get 50 in return, I guess.
Yep.
So now I have 96 gross.
I hope you'll enjoy your stay here. And if you need anything, feel free to ask.
Just point me in the direction of the bar.
The Griya points to themselves.
Perfect. I'll have... It's been a while. I'll have whatever's strongest.
We're retiring immediately. Did we not want to visit the local medic first?
I'll take it to go.
Give me a civic go.
If you're wanting to have our strongest, that'll be 2 gil.
She'll hand it over.
The man will then pull out a glass bottle and hand it to you, as the inside has a frothy golden liquid.
She will take a swig.
It certainly warms your insides, though it's hard to do much of the outside with the heat around it.
Hits the spot. So, are you washing first, or are we heading out first, now that we've secured the rooms?
I guess I can wait too.
Or if you don't mind, I simply wish to see if we can do something about this condition, maybe exchange some notes, but apart from that, the evening is yours to do as you wish.
I'll go with you.
Thank you.
Apparently my dog has turned into an elephant. I apologize.
I could hear tip tapping.
Yep.
Just need to teach him how to speak so he can go, hello, my honey, hello, my doll. After securing your rooms, you leave the inn to go to the nearby medic. And whilst the building doesn't exactly look like it is newly built, it does look newly refurbished. Black windows here inside, and it's hard to make out much aside from silhouettes of shelves and the shifting of people inside. The door, seemingly outstretching from the building itself, creates a sort of airlock. Many tasks have been undertaken to pretty much block out as much sunlight from this place as possible.
All right. Head on in. Careful to, close the door behind us.
Heading on in and passing through the airlock of sorts, that's really a sunlock, you enter into a relatively well-lit interior. Blue flames hug sconces on the wall as the shelves are full to the brim of vials of varying sizes and shapes. A blue-coated mandragora plops their way towards you as they hold out their hands to your feet and kind of look up at you as if to ask permission.
Like they're trying to take our shoes or something?
They're holding out their hands as if they're about to cast something.
Oh, okay.
May we inquire to what you are casting, little one?
Just cleaning the shoes, sir.
Then go ahead.
The magical will then use magical cleaning as dirt flecks off of your boots and away. Thank you. He then plops away and climbs up a stool and sits down.
Let's head in then. Looks like their cleaning procedure is actually quite up to date.
Heading over to the counter, you will find a almost indescribable person, but the closer you get, you can peer through a dark aura that surrounds them, almost coating them in protection away from any light that would reach them. Possibly a triple layer of sunlight protection. As you recognize a Elvan, though their cheeks are gaunt and their eyes glistening, revealing them to be vampires that they are certainly not hiding. They hold out a ghostly pale hand as they speak. Pleasure to meet you. I'm O'Main. Might you require my services or items?
Does anyone want to take lead on this, or how do you want to play this?
Go ahead.
I'm
the
happy
one
for you. You're the medic.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Just want to ask. Hello, O'Main. My name is Edwin. A pleasure. We are after your services rather than your items, although your items may be what we are after in the end. I'll take that.
If you can describe your ailments, I can check if I'm able to cure it myself, or if I have a salve to do it for you.
Of course. Two of our party, including myself, have recently been in a engagement with the dragon. We did not survive the experience and were brought back by the feathers of a phoenix. The lingering effect, however, remains.
You can see O'Main's eyes go wide as you mentioned you got killed by a dragon.
Not a large one.
It wasn't large, it was huge.
You get my point.
Well, I won't ask about your financial situation if you were able to come away at least alive after the fact. Sadly, myself cannot cure the ailments that come about of a revival ritual. However, I do have alchemical items that can replicate such means if you have 1,400 gil for each of you.
Would it be possible to make a exchange? I have this vest which I gave the sort of hand over the vest of escape, would you be able to take this as the collateral for such a encounter? We only require 2 uses of such a spell, or alchemical item, sorry. Value of the vest of escape is 2,600 to sell, but I don't know if that's going to be what we need.
I do offer a optional payment for those who aren't able to dig into their current finances. If you want to trade this vest, I will also offer that the both of you donate your blood to me.
I see no issue with this as long as it's not going to cause, no offense, I am also a medic. As long as this is not a direct transfusion, we're not going to be infected with any, I hate to say it, but vampirism. I see no problem.
You should have no worries about that. Vampirism has almost a non-existent chance of infliction if the vampire drinking the blood has no want for it to occur.
So the vest would be 2,600, it'd be 2,800 for the whole thing. So it'd be like 200 gil of blood. I will offer to give that myself. I'm not going to make Drazenka engage in this if you just want to.
You wouldn't have enough blood. You would both need to give it.
I could just give them money, if that's better. But we have enough.
Up to you.
I'm happy to donate my part. The locals seem to trust you, so I have no reason to distrust them. And their judgment.
Indeed. I'm willing to do so. I have my own tonics and potions to bring us back to our full vitality. I simply don't have the access to this kind of equipment, however.
I'm going to do the mandatory cleric thing, though.
Drazenka, as far as you can tell, Romain is true neutral.
No qualms with that, then.
As Entro's dog apparently goes feral.
Yeah, he wants to play. All done. All done.
But yeah, I'll hand over the vest, and if we're doing 100 gil each of blood payment, then so be it. I'm going to insist that eventually it's like put in some kind of container rather than like a direct blood-to-blood transfer, if possible.
So you don't want him biting you?
Correct.
What about Drazenka?
I'll take Edwin's lead on this one.
Alright. He'll ask that you both take off your jackets and roll up your sleeves to about where your elbow is. At which point, he'll take out a knife from his desk as he unsheaths it from an almost glass container. Holding it over a flame, he will cut a rather large line just underneath of your elbow. As the blood pours from there into rather large beakers, he stops at a point and then runs his finger over the line. It closes almost immediately, though it does not exactly heal, it just stops you from bleeding. You both feel a bit dizzy at the end, as you did offer up quite a bit of blood, but as long as you are just going to sleep after this, you should be fine.
Very professionally done. Thank you.
It would have to be professional and not exactly inviting to have the populace offer it so willingly and commonly. I'm sure you can ask quite a few Gria around here, but it is a quite often picked solution to payments. And, of course, it allows me to live here comfortably.
Understandable. Well, If you don't mind, if you have a moment, I would like to compare some notes with you. I will head back to the inn later with yourselves. I'll look to the rest of the party, unless there's anything you wish to do with the gentleman here.
Nothing immediately.
Siren will hang out with you just for while you're there.
All right. Yeah, Edwin just intends to spend a little bit of time with our main, looking at what they've done, and then going to sleep. Basically, just wants to spend a bit of time exchanging notes if they're up for it.
If you are actually exchanging, yeah.
Yeah, it would be, injuries that I've helped to cure. Maybe some. Actually, I will make a very big point of talking to him about Nox Cradle and how that's affected people, because it's very possible that whatever happened there might happen here. So he's going to make a very big point of trying to pass on that knowledge if he can.
Possibly, thankfully, our main will mention that he is pretty much immune to that disease, both from its sleeping effects and because it's a disease. That he will say at least Amberclaw and any of the Greer settlements have not had any issue with it.
All right. Yeah, just spend the time and then go back to the others when they're ready. I will pass the mega chocolate to Drazenka as well, just before he leaves, or is she sticking around to use as she
I
wants?
think she's also leaving for the inn while Edwin stays with Omain.
Yeah.
All right. Eventually, the party will meet back up at the inn, both Al and Zaire possibly steaming from their time in the baths, as everyone can roll perception as you gather up before heading to your rooms.
Can I eat my chocolate beforehand or no?
Yeah, you can.
Yay! Remember, perception's dog shit anyway, but every little helps.
There it is.
This is sound-based, so Zaire does even worse than normal.
Yay.
Drazenka and Al, as you gather it back with everyone else, up to you if you wish to discuss it amongst the party or possibly seek out those who say it, but you'll hear on the rumor mill that there have been several medium to large-sized creatures flying in the skyline, heading from almost south and around westward to the northeast.
So they're coming from the southwest, heading northeast.
The south and the west, so they're coming from two different locations and then heading northeast.
And you say we heard this from a room, or we see this?
You hear people talking about them seeing it.
Yeah, Al's probably gonna go and check it out. And she'll obviously mention to the party about it, that she's gonna do that.
Yeah, I heard that rumor as well.
Probably worth checking out, just to see if it's anything important.
I mean, I'll go with you, but I'm probably not going to see anything.
You can talk to people and ask what they have seen.
That's true. I'll wait to see it if we think it's important first.
If you want to speak amongst the populace for it, you can roll diplomacy to gather information.
That's very hard.
I don't think I've
Good
rolled
for Al.
over it.
I think I need to stop being shocked by Al. I think she's quite diplomatic, you know.
She has a way with words for sure.
Just tends to be quite direct.
To what impact is a different question. She certainly makes an impression.
Oh, I just think maybe I might need to put a point into it.
Is it a class skill?
It is now. No, it's not.
Oh.
Diplomacy not. Intimidate is.
Also, you chose sense motive and knowledge arcana. You didn't choose intimidate either.
Yeah, intimidate was already
Changed
part
it.
of my. No, intimidate was part of my class skill.
Ah.
Also, didn't have to be like int or whiz skill. Would it be any skill?
Is that what now?
What?
Oh yeah, it has to be.
I thought it had to be int or whiz.
Yeah, it did.
Intelligence or wisdom skill. At least I thought.
Was it not also charisma? Was just any?
Oh,
Yeah,
it was
intelligence,
charisma.
wisdom, or charisma.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
charisma
so
is
it could
there.
have been. Oh well, I
Could have
chose
been.
it now.
But it wasn't.
I don't need. Al does not need to be diplomatic. It's fine.
Al kind of gets distracted talking with her people and talks about other things instead. Whereas everyone else, you'll get a good enough summation amongst your party. From what people are guessing what they saw, it was quite the herd. Possibly over 50 creatures over a prolonged day. It happened a few days ago, so if you were to follow after, you'd be at quite a disadvantage, especially since you'd be going across the ground. But they do range, apparently from small up to huge, not just medium and large, as the creatures were all winged and flapping them as if they were actually using them and not via magic. And at their best guess, a lot of them were tailed beasts, but aside from that, it is hard to tell in the skyline. Apparently, one headed straight eastward, but that's the only one they saw head eastward.
I wonder if those were dragons.
It's certainly possible, but without any better descriptions of what they were, it'd be difficult to tell. We know the Naga can fly, or we can at least assume they can.
Some of them certainly, but that sounds quite a many of them.
Indeed. And if at least one of them is heading east, that is towards Shadow Rock Hollow, the destination of our... Well-
Shadow Rock Hollow is west.
That is
Brennus
west.
is east.
It is west.
I have a headache, leave me alone.
They went to the west.
They went to a direction.
With tails heading towards the southwest. Okay,
One
we should report this to some... Well, unfortunately Karthurra does not message us anymore, so we cannot respond. We should keep an eye on this and make sure we report it back to someone.
Agreed.
If we can, we should drop this off to one of the Guardians of Brennus on the way back through Brenner. But there isn't much we can do about this right now, is
It
there?
already happened a few days ago. Who
Oh,
knows
well,
when
that-
we'll be back towards Heartburn anyway.
And no one else, the only details we have is they are small to huge winged creatures with tails.
Yep.
Correct.
Then I truly don't know what we can do about this.
Nothing. Just
It's
make
good
a
to
note
keep
of
an
it
eye
and
out.
let somebody know.
Yes.
Indeed. Well then, now we have these curatives, we've done what we need to do. We should move on. Lovely as this town has been.
One step closer to home.
I think we still need to go to bed, don't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
are we
sorry.
needing more restocks? for any resources or equipment?
We are down Phoenix Downs.
That's true. We don't have any more.
Do we have the funds to restock them as we are, or should we look for some work? Other than what the guards tried to coax us into.
Well, Al, what's in the bag?
Sorry, say it again.
I said, what's in the bag? Like the money that we have.
How's our funds looking?
Yeah, we got
Our
left.
funds are at 3,166.
So we could afford at least one with change. Because they're 1,400.
Yep.
So do you want to pick up Phoenix Down and then save a little bit for something else we need, like gear-wise? Or what do you guys think?
It's probably worth picking up at least one. They're very
Yeah.
handy.
Yeah, 1,400. Should we grab one of those then?
You think the vampire medic would have them?
Yes.
Let's go ask him if he's got any extras.
I don't... With our current funds, I think we should leave it.
What do you mean?
We're getting to a point now where we may need to use this money towards something. And we don't know what the requirements of the dance or what we're going to need to do in Shadowrock Hollow is. I think we should save the money for now. Buy one and try and be more careful.
Yeah, we should definitely buy one, and then... I mean, if we need more money, we can always take up odd jobs around town.
Maybe,
We
but
still have the another amulet of mighty fists.
indeed, do we wish to sell that while we're here?
I'm okay with that.
It's worth selling if nobody else needs it. I've got the one that my mum made.
Yeah, so we've got the one that we had for like no use. That'd be 2,000, right? For selling. I might be
I'll
wrong.
double check so I can never remember the price of those. To sell it would be 2k.
Yeah, so we could sell it for 2k, buy another Phoenix Down. That'd leave us with 400 left to add to the party loot. How's that sound? If
Sounds good to me.
I also still have the Golem Bane Scarab. We don't really need it necessarily.
it's up to you if you want to sell it. You're cool. I'll hold on to the Phoenix Downs if that's okay with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's potentially possible that we could come across more golems, but I think we're strong enough now that it's not as big of an issue. I think we would be okay to get rid of the Golem Bane Scarab. That'd be half of 25 is I can't math right now. My brain. 1350.
Half of 25 is 1250.
1250. I'm happy to give that up for everybody. Although I am basically out of personal money as of now.
I don't have a lot, but we tend to use personal money for like inns and whatnot, so I'm okay for now. Could always ask. Get some like 10 gil from the party treasury. I don't think that's going to be a problem.
No, but I don't want to take any out of it if nobody else is. I'd rather, if we're going to split part of it up, we split it up evenly.
That depends. Al and Drazenka, do you want anything out of the party loot? Are you guys okay?
I'm doing fine.
I'm good at the moment.
Well, if you need stuff, you can always ask. And we can take it out. It's not going to be a problem if you take a little bit of money out of the party loot. If you took like 10 gil, is anyone really opposed to Zyra taking a little bit of like 10?
Nope.
Yeah,
No, I think it's good for all of us to have at least some personal gil as well.
Exactly, yeah, just like a
On
little
us.
bit of gil on our person
Yeah,
for general use.
like bigger purchases obviously through the party loot.
I mean,
But
why doesn't
yeah,
Zyron
just to expedite
take-
things and such.
Yeah. Why doesn't Zyron just take 100 gil out of the group loot so then he's got it as a buffer?
Can Zyron carry 100 gil?
hold
Depends
the
on
one
what kind
coin.
of coins they are.
We get like 50 at least, because ins are pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'll sell the golem bait scarab and I'll take 50 out of that and then put
Okay.
1200 back into.
Yeah, so it'd be like 3566 left. Alright.
Alright. And I'm giving Zyron 50 gil.
No. Just add 1200 to party and I'll take 50 off of that sale basically.
Alright.
There
Sorry.
we go.
While we're in town, just very quickly while we're doing this, can we do a quick look around to see if anyone knows about the Dance of Daisies at all? Like what it actually entails or no?
You would have to do that in the morning.
Okay, fine. We'll get to bed.
Alright.
Actually, no, didn't someone say that there's someone in the Shadow Rock Hollow who can tell us? Ignore that.
No, they told us that that's about with the Ronsos. Sarah Hollow has a map and a key.
Oh, but not
And
exactly
then
what
with
it
the
is.
Ronso, with the Ronsos, we should ask about the Dance of Daisies.
Yeah, but they need the people in Shadow Rock Hollow might have the key and the location, but they don't exactly know what it is. There's no guarantee of that.
The exciting the dance was mentioned in relation to the Ronsos.
Hmm.
We need to then find the Ronsos and then ask to join the Dance of Daisies, and after that we should have enough for the Lily.
Out of interest, then, in the morning, like when we wake up, can I speak to Drazenka and just ask them? I realise you may not remember this, but you were part of the tribe when you were a child, yes?
Yes.
Do you remember anything about the Dance of Daisies? Was there any kind of ritual you went under, some kind of dance you did? Even just around a fire somewhere?
I have an idea what it might refer to, but I do not know any details. It wasn't. I do not even know if that what it was called, but they did have a rite of sorts. Anyone who grew up with them and was to enter adulthood went through a rite of passage of sorts. I never reached the age to do it myself. A friend of mine did.
Did you see what it entailed at all?
No, I was too young to be really told anything. To my understanding, it was a way to fully integrate a young one to their culture and habits and history.
I see.
That's why I didn't even really know what truly caused them to be in their exile until we met with the Shevas in the area.
Right.
I do not think it's anything dangerous. To my understanding, it was designed to young ones, and it is a small people. I do not think they would like to risk their own just for a ride.
Maybe the people of Shadowrock Hollow will know a little bit more. It would just be good to know if there is anything we can prepare for this while we're here, but into the jaws of the unknown we go again, I suppose.
At the very least, they might have an idea where the Vierage were last seen.
Indeed.
If they were secretive enough to keep this information from their own, I to be quite honest, do not really believe we might find a lot of information about these dons from the outside, but it is worth a try, certainly.
I think you're right, actually. I think that spending the time here to research this won't benefit us here. I think Shadowrock Hollow is where we should go.
Seems to be our next destination.
Indeed. Let's head out then. My apologies, I just didn't know if you had anything that you hadn't spoken of, or maybe just... You seem to be having a lot of memories come back to you, and I didn't know if one of those might have been one. That's all.
No, I also apologize for not sharing this with you earlier. I just... Like I said, I truly do not know any details about it. I heard fake mentions, because there were a few of us, and I heard them talking every now and again. But I was always too young to really be told any more than I really needed to know. I was a child.
I see. Okay.
I wish I could be of more help.
You don't need to be. That's more than enough. We should get downstairs to the others. I'm honestly surprised, though, too, we haven't... Well, I suppose we've had other things in our mind at this point. Oh well.
As we get downstairs, Drazenka will also tell the same thing to Sire and Ao. What little she knows, what she thinks might be this dance, but yeah, it's not much.
Something's better than nothing.
Might as well get started on our journey.
Very true.
Is the party leaving Emberclaw Refuge?
Fondly, but I think we are.
And nothing else to do, then yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
These people seem like they don't seem under threat by the people looking for the vampire, do they? They're just existing.
I mean, yeah. It sounded like they can't really do it. They can just every now and again come and harass them about it, but they can't do anything. So
Yeah, I think we head off. We, as much as we like to meddle in local affairs, we do have things to do, and it's very close.
As you leave Emberclaw Refuge, a few of the Grier will run towards the exit of town, waving and cheering you away. Where
way
is the
back.
party?
Towards Shadowrock Hollow.
Alright. Heading straight westward. I would need Drazenka and Edwin to give me a will save each, please.
Fuck off. Leave me alone. Gonna make a save character one day.
it's just a god talking to you, don't worry about it.
Fuck. Oh, I don't need this.
No, but you do if that's what your wisdom is saying. Or your will save is saying. You need it.
Can I hero point this? I don't really hero points. Shit.
Can I hear a point in this? Shit, I can't.
Did you do your bones for the night? For the previous day?
I did not do my bones for the night. I did it for the previous day, but I never found out what it was, because it just says random.
I did type in chat. It's in the order of the brackets. You got a will
okay.
last time.
So it would have been will, unless this is a new day and I need to do it
This
again.
is a new day. You need to do it again. It's every day.
Fuck!
Hey, will again!
Hey! It's a 15.
Did you just
Probably
roll
not
a
good enough.
3?
No.
Yeah, that's just a freeze.
Ah!
You just rolled a number 3.
Hey!
Hey!
It's 3
What?
anyway.
No.
Wow.
He cheated?
Hey,
No.
he tried. He
I didn't
tried.
actually
He
realise I'd done
tried.
that. I didn't realise I'd done that.
It's noticed because it wasn't green. It's a 1 green. It should have been green. I was like, hey, wait a second.
Wait a second.
What did I
Hold
want
up.
you to fail
Wait a
or
minute.
anything?
You see Edwin's trying to aim the bones towards Will and just is like, no, stop that.
It's like when you try and roll dice a certain way to allow something, you're like holding the bones weirdly as you throw them.
That's not how they work.
Yeah, instead of rolling, you're just dropping.
Okay. Towards the end of your travel, about 7 hours into it, quite a far distance away from Emberclaw Refuge, around halfway on your travels towards Shadowrock Hollow, both Edwin and Drazenka will feel a strong wind blow through the mountains. A mist stays over your body as snow patters a path in the ground. A strong sense of danger comes over you as you feel you need to follow this path immediately and hastily.
Something's wrong.
Something is wrong. We need
What,
to
you
take a
feel it
detour.
too?
Whoa, whoa,
Yes,
whoa, whoa.
we need to.
Why do we detour? The Shadowrock Hollow's this way.
You don't even believe me, but the wind told us we need to go now.
Please, there's not much time. And Drazenka's already going that way.
Yeah, Edwin's kicking into gear, but he is going to at least let the party know that's where we're going.
Wait, but that. Fine. It's that way. You can see Hours
Take it-
visibly annoyed.
Sorry, but that's what I've got time for.
Does Siren follow after?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Alright.
Siren
Sure.
not going on his
Say it.
own? What?
Hey, I want to see what happens. Charging your chocobos forward, you follow a path only Drazenka and Edwin can see. The snow pattering a mountain that has little of it around. Eventually, you will find shelter under a strange overhang of the mountain, a half tunnel of sorts. Shortly thereafter, you hear the loud roars of dragons overhead. Peeking out from the tunnel, you see a white and a black colossal worm fighting each other. Their breaths colliding as icicles come raining down to the area you had just been riding across. The icicles far larger than your mounts, and possibly enough to make it so that you were just red smudges on the ground. The dragons claw, bite, and tumble around in the skies above as they kick off and continue breathing at each other, flying away.
And they're both, like, Karthurra size. They're worms, right?
They are worms, yes. Colossal.
Would we have any idea who they are? Because dragons of that size are quite... I don't know if they're renowned, but, like, would we know?
From the distance you're at, it'd be very hard to tell. There would be, like, a shorthand list of them, but you would not know these particular ones. Especially since you've not been all the way west, there's a good chance you've not heard of every single worm. And not all of them make themselves known either.
Okay. What in the name of all that is... I'd never seen anything like that before.
How did you know they were here? Surely you say you want to away from danger, but you're walking us towards it.
I have no idea.
We won't.
The snow path led you into this tunnel, and the icicles hit the path you were treading before you followed the path.
Yeah, so basically if we hadn't followed,
It's-
we would have been splattered by their debris.
Yeah, we were being killed
We
almost
were kind of
instantly.
let out away from their full out, whatever it's
So my
called.
question is, did you pass your will save or did you fail it?
Don't know. This is getting out of hand. Why are we...
do you mean this is getting out of hand? If anything, you're foretelling the future. It's just saved us from getting
Not us. Her.
sickled.
But why? People are killed on mountainsides all the time. That fight may have killed other people before. Why are we safe?
Magic.
Because she watches over her own.
This doesn't make sense. None of this makes any sense. We should get going. Standing in this cave isn't going to help anyone.
Are they gone?
I think so.
Yeah,
I hope so.
It should be safer to continue again. Drazenka's gonna like clasp her snowflake symbol and just give a quick silent prayer of thank you.
So, can I take us back on the path now?
Yes, Al. Sorry to
Apologies
waylay
for the
you.
abrupt nature of it, but as you saw, it was quite urgent.
I saw.
Exiting the tunnel of the mountain, the chill slowly leaves you two as you don't see any more of the snow path. It's possible you reached its end, and thankfully in a good amount of time. In the distance, you swear you can continue to hear the roars of the dragons as they continue flying away from here, though who's the victor, it's hard to tell. You continue moving for another hour or so as the sun continues to set, making the mountain range quite orange in the evening.
Edwin's kind of going through this journey looking very confused and a bit kind of lost. He's following the path, but is very much thinking about something as we keep going.
Is the party bunkering down for the night?
Yep. Yeah.
Edwin, give me a D100 roll, please.
I checked then if that was actually a proper roll, but it was.
As you are bunking it down for the night, Edwin and Al can make perception checks.
Come on, buddy. I believe in you.
Yeah, that belief. Where it matters.
Gonna
You
take
believe in
Alton
Abaddon
Bard.
in Shiva. I see how it is.
Hey, Al's real. All right.
Whoa,
Use you.
Whoa. Shots.
You've been saved by her so many times now. As in Shiva.
Been saved by ours many times, so you know.
No.
No, I've been checking.
I wasn't going to say anything. What do you mean you're joking?
Wait a fucking second. Where were you on my will save, 16? Huh? Where were you?
As it comes to Al and Edwin's watch over the night, instead of the glinting eyes of monsters, you can instead both hear and see the shuffling of a hunched man, draped in a brown robe. Their feet are accompanied by the patter of a walking staff. It doesn't seem like they're coming towards your camp, but instead going around it, giving you quite a wide berth.
Do you see that this time?
Yes, I see that this time.
Seems like he's taking a wide arc. You want to bother him or just let him go?
I think we ask them if they need assistance. If they are happy and fine to evade us, then so be it.
Al will walk a bit away from the camp and then shout over to the man, just to try not to wake up Drazenka and Zyrian. Excuse me.
The man turns to face you as you notice his hands are gloved and his face is covered in a mask, though you can still understand him as he replies. Hello there. Can I help you? Do you need guidance across the mountains?
Oh, no. I'm from this land. I know the mountains well. There's more. Did you need any assistance? See you walking across. Seem to be on your own.
No. I have the voices of the land and those in my head to guide me. Though I would like to ask, are there many more miles until leaving Pardini?
Until the what, sorry?
Leaving Pardini? No. There are not.
No. Continue heading north and you should reach the border pretty soon.
If you continue to the east, there is also a village there, unless you wish to avoid their company like you have ours.
I find it's best not to meddle within people around here. I might take the northern path as you suggest.
The people in the village are friendly, as long as you pose no threat.
Do you seek any assistance, sir, or are you simply on your way?
I am simply on my way, offering guidance to those who ask, and apparently now accepting it from others.
Then may I ask you for guidance in a different matter?
Perhaps. A lot of mine is traveling the mountain paths.
Then I would ask you in a form you may understand a bit better. Would you put faith for the snow to hold on the mountain, or do you expect it to fall upon you?
As I say, the voices of the land and those in my head do allow me to bypass the dangers faced around here. No matter what the snow intends to do, I'm sure I shall subvert it.
Well then. Good travel. Okay, and sit back down. Still looking very confused about what's happened over the day.
The older gentleman changes course somewhat and heads north instead of east.
As Al goes to sit back down, she'll look over to Edwin and say, "Everything all right? You seem to be troubled recently. You and Drazenka seem to be getting closer as well, I see."
closer is a relative term, I suppose. We're bound by some kind of fate, which is what I struggle with. Fate. It's outside of our control, so far outside of our control, I can't understand how it works. Our entire reason for being here is I took a sip from a cup hundreds of miles away and it showed me a vision of my mother potentially passing unless I found this flower. And now we're here. An entirely selfish request which I feel incredibly guilty for to this day.
Fate's a funny thing. As you say, it's not something you can control. Not many things you can control. You're a man that lives day by day.
Because he's got his hands on his sort of... Well... Em's got his hands on his temples. I am for you. And Zyaren. And I suppose Drazenka too. You have faith in certain things. Constants. Parts of this world that are just as they are. You don't
I'm
think
not sure
about them
what
because you
you're
don't
referring
need to.
I have faith in myself.
Exactly.
Not
Faith in
other
yourself
beings.
and your ability. Sorry, what you say, Justin?
She just says she has faith in herself and not otherworldly beings.
Exactly. You have faith in yourself, in your abilities. You don't question where they come from. You don't understand what they really are, but you don't need to. You have faith in them. Likewise, Aaron does. He bends time, changes the way the world works, but has faith in be it Zamala or just their own abilities. And as does Drazenka.
Do
you remember
not
the
have
ice bridge
faith in
they
your
made?
own medicinal training?
I have understanding in my training, not faith. Everything I do, everything I put together, it has reason behind it. Thought. It's cause and effect. I give you these things and it cures your wounds, or makes you faster, or makes you better at things. It's not magic. It's all written down. Anyone can learn it if they want to.
True, but being a dragon, it's not magic, it's supernatural. It's quite
But it
family,
is
quite different.
supernatural. Exactly, it's inexplainable.
I'm sure there's someone that can explain it. Had to originate from somewhere.
Maybe. I'm just trying to put this together now. Trying to keep you all alive and myself. And I'm trying to fight the urge to simply give in to faith. It's easier. It's not worse. It's not a bad path. It's just... If I simply say this is all part of a God's plan and give up to it, then that's it, isn't it? That's all it is. It's a plan. It's part of how this all works. But I want to understand it. I don't want the easy road. I want to know how it works, and the problem is there's no way to know it. Not now. Possibly not ever.
Well, not that I take any issue in it, but I guess that's what you call people as fun of research.
I suppose. Well, maybe one day when you're a great and powerful dragon presiding over your own domain, you can give me an answer. Or maybe Drazenka can. Or maybe even Zyaren. I'm just trying to understand it all, that's it, really.
Well, try not to worry what's out of your control for now. Let's focus on the task that's at hand.
Well, I'm not going to make a promise to someone I can't keep. But... Besides, you speak about me and Drazenka. We're colleagues, but I can't notice that you and Zyron seem to have drifted somehow.
Drifted? What do you mean?
Yes. You seemed closer before. And maybe this is just the pull and push of how you operate, but you seem to have made some kind of distance between you two.
The rivalry's still there.
Just a
Or
rivalry?
nothing less.
Hmm.
Be it as he sees more, maybe, I don't know. It's not a matter we tend to speak about. We, know what to expect of each other's abilities.
It's a shame, really.
Where's the shame?
I just thought you two always looked quite good together. That was all.
Feelings for Zairin? You must be joking.
Maybe I am. But I'm your medic. I try to look after you in the best way I can. I'm not saying I'm good at it.
Stick to the physical injuries. Leave the
I
therapies
suppose.
to others.
Well, I suppose Drazenka is better at that than I am. Sort of give a sly look at Al. Well, that's all I'm struggling with, but I appreciate the offer. Who knows, maybe you're going to become our chaplain one day if you keep up like this.
Eh. I have no needs for words. I'd rather go through actions.
You never know. When you keep doing this path and gaining your power, you might be sending a group of new adventurers out to find some coffee beans for you in the future.
Maybe a stronger form of alcohol. Coffee's not my thing.
Maybe it's the hops then.
Now that sounds more like it.
Right. I've kept you up with my exposition too long, I think.
Yes. It's the next person's watch momentarily.
Good night, Al.
Sleep well.
The day will pass into the next. And whilst nothing else really occurs during the night, your morning routine is shuffled around once again. As instead of two great worms in the sky, your campsite is blustered around as the winds get fiercer from the flapping wings of a gargantuan greener dragon. Flying from the southwest, they head northeast, seemingly not stopping for anything and merely traveling on the winds.
More dragons? Could they be gathering for the communion, maybe?
Possibly. Although that begs the question, why were those two larger ones fighting? They may not have been invited, but what about the fallout? Oh, I'm thinking too much. You're right. It's probably the council.
Maybe my friend Talira might be able to tell us in Shadow Rock Hollow what's going on.
Talira? That's not a name I recognise.
Ah, yes, she's my scholar in the Hollow. She's quite intelligent. He tried to teach me a few things, but I'd rather go train than sit down and read books.
Well, there's something we can agree on. Ow. Drazenka and... Sorry, Zyron. I hope you slept well.
Yeah, I'm good.
Well enough.
Well, let's pack up then and make our way. We're not too far now.
Shit, my books. And I see them flying off on the wind. I'm going to go grab them before we leave.
You lost a few pieces of paper and parchment.
No.
The important ones.
They had unfinished formulae on them.
Yeah, Edwin is very, like, ever since he's passed, is looking at methods of revival. So a lot of his research is into that at the minute.
Let's make way.
Alright. We have new Chocobo mounts for the day. You continue heading westward. It continues on and on until whoever is the cartographer of the group looks at it to look for markers of intrigue and points of interest, as they realize they cannot see Shadowrock Hollow at all.
Ow, I thought you said it was just where I was going to be.
We're here. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, sorry. I forget. For outsiders, you haven't been here before. The entrance is hidden. It's under quite a thick, ominous fog. Quite eerie. But it acts as a natural camouflage, so, come this way. And I'm assuming Al
After
can
you, then.
find the entrance.
You can certainly find the entrance out.
This is quite real.
Following the directions given from Al, you pierce the veil of fog as you move through the mountains. Eventually, you come up to the entrance of such, making a sort of canyon amongst the cliffs. But instead of buildings, you see carvings in the faces of the terrain itself. Houses, businesses, and also depictions of dragons in statues have been melded into the rock faces. Lights every so often light up the mountain, creating a weird visage for those who are not used to being here. And whilst it is secluded from the rest of the world, it is quite lively. Gria glide from house to house if they have the ability, or they zip across newly made zip lines that Al was not accustomed to when she was here. Also, a new addition to the place is near a sort of centerpiece of Shadowrock Hollow itself, is a large glacial statue depicting a form of Shiva.
That's new.
It wasn't here when you left?
No. Zip lines are new, and that glacial statue's new. You seem to recognize the statue.
Oh, it is my lady.
I wonder what Shiva has to do with my village.
Well, we are here. Lead us where you want to go next, Al. This is your home.
Yes. Well, I'm sure the best person to go to really would be Talia, but I'd rather go see Mother and Father first.
Yeah,
We'll follow your
sure.
lead out.
She's the one that made that jewelry.
Right. We'll lead to my house first. Not sure if Father will be there, but he might be.
Going off of your chocobos and taking the paths across the mountains, a flurry of Gria will glide over to Al, almost jumping on her and surrounding her with arms as they call out her name. In contrast, a group of not exactly scaly, but not so furred as usual Ronso will also move over to Drazenka and give her a hug, though one-on-one time.
It's good to be home. Hello, everyone.
Where you
Like,
been,
treating
Al?
you well?
I see you got taller.
Ah, you think so? I did feel like taller. I've travelled quite various on the lands. Fought a few dragons. Lost a few battles, but we won't talk about those.
Aha, fought some dragons. I bet they were just wyverns.
No, no. The party can vouch.
Well, where's the dragon armor? Where are the dragon relics? Come on, show us the goods.
Well, the most recent dragon we faced, unfortunately, got resurrected and flew away. Cowardice beast.
So you didn't beat him?
Oh, we did. I struck the final blow.
If it's still alive, I don't think that's beating. That's more like a draw.
It may not technically be alive. It might be undead. We're not sure.
Ooh, here's your boyfriend.
Ugh. No. Can't just pick that. This is my rival. This is Zaire. The
Nice to meet you.
slender one in black is Edwin.
Some of the Grier will walk over to Edwin and hold out their hands to shake his. Welcome, Mr. Medic.
I'm amazed you know my medic. Good day. Hello. Hello.
Well, you got the drapes and the gloves. We see some other medics around here.
I see.
And the tall... Oh. The tall Ronso who's familiar with another Ronso. That's Drazenka.
Yeah, well, that was going on. Drazenka was greeting all the Ronsos that came to her.
Yeah, they all refer to you as sister, as they all have similar Shiva iconography across them.
Anyway, where's Mom and Pa? Are they at home or are they somewhere else? I don't know. In the village, blacksmith, maybe in the hall.
I think they're. I think both are in the Shiva's church.
Shiva's church. That's new.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Go towards the statue, and there's some stairs that lead underneath it. We built it underground.
Of course. Why the sudden interest in Shiva? I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's new.
One of the Ronsos will walk over to you, Al, and hug you, but your head is like in their stomach as they do so.
No! You must be new. I don't do hugs. And she's trying to actively push off.
You're easily able to do so.
I don't do
Well-
hugs, but greetings.
Welcome home, Agria that has left. It seems you are not accustomed to the changes of your home.
It's certainly new. How long ago was this built? When did you guys... Are you living here?
Well, the question is going to be for Jester, when did Al leave Shadowrock Hollow? Because you didn't give a time frame.
Depending on how long it's been. So I probably stayed in the village for about a year. Like in
Hadderwood.
Hatterwood. So I stayed in Hatterwood for about a year, so however long ago since then.
So it would be a year then.
Yeah.
It has been almost a year since a lot of us Ronso came to Shadowrock Hollow. We were exploring the mountaintops on the whispers of Our Lady and running out of resources and not being able to find further sustenance. A chill wind brought us through the fog and into your domicile. Ever since, we have set up here and instructed your kin on the lady. Ever since, they have been also granting her prayer and discussion. also gaining knowledge in return. They saw fit to give some sort of material possession toward Shiva, and such the statue and the church.
Huh.
Where did you all come from, if you don't mind me asking?
We are from the Zeteni lands. We had a small cusp of the mountains over there. However, we used to be nomadic and found quite a wholesome home here, and so we have stayed here ever since.
Well, surprised you managed to even find the village. Pretty much only the people that know about it are the ones to find it. But if the chill wind took you here, maybe that was similar to what Edwin and Drazenka had earlier.
I apologize if this is a strange query, but would you happen to be or know about the Wierach tribe?
The Ronso thinks for a while before replying. The name is at the back of my mind, but I don't think we had any real dealings with them, no.
Alright, that was... my apologies. Just had to make sure of something.
There are no apologies needed for conversation.
Well, I believe we have elsewhere to be, but I would be very interested in visiting the church later, after we are done visiting our family.
That's where we're heading now. That's where Mar and Pa are.
The Grier kind of pull Al by the arms, but since there's like 6 of them, they're able to do it. As they will lead you down towards the statue. Does everyone follow after?
Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Following the path downwards, eventually you'll come to a point where you have to travel via zipline, as the Grier instructs you on how to do so. Zipping down on cords and wire, you'll eventually get down to the deepest part of Shadowrock Hollow. The grand statue of Shiva, even more taller, up front, as you see several other Grier and Ronso praying to the statue. The area is possibly the coldest around here, though it's unsure if it's due to the snow getting all the way down here or being away from the heated structures of the village itself. Taking these steps down into the church, everyone will see Drazenka's sheath shake slightly as it frosts over, at which point, Drazenka, you will notice this is happening as your weapon becomes slightly heavier.
Whoa, what was that?
What froze over, sorry?
Your sheath.
The sheath of your sword.
Ah, gotcha.
So Aaron's gonna check his sword just in case.
Nothing happened to you.
Okay.
She can she still remove the sword from the sheath, or is it like frozen
No,
over?
You can certainly remove it, and if you do so, this sword lets off a cool mist.
What is that?
I'm not sure. I'll try to spellcraft it if I can.
You can do so.
And as she's looking at her sword, she makes sure to be away from people, so it's very clear that it's not out of hostility or anything. Just to be completely obvious about that. Ugh.
As you study the blades, you are unsure of what is affecting it. But as far as you can tell, it doesn't seem detrimental, at least not yet.
should look at it.
If he wishes to. I cannot really tell what it is.
Edwin sort of snaps out of whatever kind of fugue he was in, looking at the statue and all the people around. Sorry, what?
Her sheath, frosted over.
Well, I'll be. Do you mind, Drazenka? I don't mean to impinge, if this is religious in some way.
Not at all.
As you look over the sheath and the blades, it has a overwhelming aura, though it seems like the effect itself isn't that strong. It seems like whoever gave it to her was quite adept. And to your best knowledge, the blade has been enchanted until its next critical hit. As you know that this will currently have the Icy Burst enchantment on it.
Oh,
You have been given a blessing by your god. Next time you hit with this particularly hard or in a vital place, you're going to release a burst of ice.
it should also do ice damage every time until that as well.
Yes.
Yes.
That is quite a blessing.
It will stop after that point, but yes, you have been given this boon. Hands the sword back to Drazenka.
She'll take it. Again, like, close her eyes and give like a quick prayer of thank you towards Shiva. And she's the sword. Thank you, Edwin.
It's fine.
Is everything okay?
Yes. Sorry. Yes. Yes, everything's fine.
Yeah, we'll give a side eye at Edwin.
Edwin does not see it because he can't see 3 foot down, unfortunately.
So
Be
we're
happy
gonna
you
go
didn't
see-
say that out loud. Unless you did. Otherwise, you will be 3 foot down by knocking at your kneecaps.
No, he does see Al look, give him the stink eye, but he's not responding to it.
Should we go find your parents then?
I just wish these zip lines were here when I was a kid. Fun.
That was quite a thrill.
I think next time I'm gonna use that momentum to try and do a flip off the end.
Just try not to purposefully hurt yourself any more than you already do, Tyron.
No,
I
please
mean-
do. Comedic effect.
I'll try not to hurt myself, but it might happen. We'll see. As long as these zip lines are here, I won't go jumping off any buildings, that's for sure.
Yes, I think most of us would prefer you not do that anymore.
I mean, I knew I would be safe, I just needed to get down fast. No point in taking the stairs.
Only for emergencies then.
Yes.
Not unnecessary thrill seeking. Please.
Oh, no, yeah, I'm talking like when I get to the end, instead of like just hopping off, I use that momentum to just do a little backflip or something. Nothing too crazy.
Right, well, I believe some people are waiting for us.
Continuing down the steps, you will enter into a wide open hall. Several pews carved out of stone, but then draped in silk, line the hall towards another rather smaller statue of Shiva at the back. Whilst Al possibly more noticeably notices Rai and Drogdon, everyone will notice at their sides, and possibly much taller than they, with a staff made of ice, a two-armed Naga.
Edwin certainly freezes for a minute. But I'm going to let Al take the lead on this. This is your home.
She will walk up to her ma and pa and greet them.
Both Rye and Drogdon will turn on their heel as they recognize the voice and clasp their arms around you, almost picking you off the floor as the Naga kind of slithers away just a few inches just so that they do not interrupt.
No, I still don't do hugs, but it's fine. You guys are the exception.
Rye will then ask, "We weren't expecting you to return so soon. What brings you back home? Not as if I'm complaining, but..."
Well, we're actually here on a bit of a quest for one of my party over here. The Slender Man is Edwin. His mother seems to be in a bit of trouble. So
Yes, I trace people through the forest looking for pieces of paper.
So, we're on the look for something called a hollow lily. All the clues lead to here so far.
Forgot about the dance of daisies.
A hollow lily?
Oh wait, no, that's not yet.
Rye thinks aloud as Drogdon kind of like blinks his eyes as if he's just forgotten to think. Ah, yes. This is Fronwake. He is a newcomer to the village and has been wanting to learn of our ways. As you look at the Naga, their skin is almost a teal color. Spikes start from their limbs up to their crowned heads, and they have an almost squid-like mouth. Welcome home. I take it your trip amongst the mountains has not dallied too long.
It's been somewhat eventful, but no problem. No, Fromarker, we saw another Naga not long ago. Not far from these parts either.
My kin are quite adept at going far and wide, though I'm pretty sure many would like to go even further and to stay further.
And your time in the village, you're learning of our ways?
Yes, it is quite intriguing to talk with beings able to carve the land into something that supports them. Homes within the rock, both high and underground. So very intriguing. Yeah, we've just been instructing Fronwake on how to make mountains a home and not having to build a home on the mountains.
I was just trying to gauge on how truthful the Naga is and whether they like have any sort of inkling of wanting to invade.
I don't know, it kind of seems like racist thinking just because he's a Naga.
Nah.
But it's very hard to gauge him. A lot of the Naga that you've dealt with don't exactly speak. You've only seen, like, what, 3 of them that speak to you?
Yeah. Okay. Father, something I need to discuss with you maybe a bit later, but it can wait for the moment.
Yes, of course. Though I'm sure your friends and everyone accompanying you must be quite tired from your journey. Well, there's enough rooms at our house if you all wish to rest there for tonight.
That'll be great. You haven't touched my room, have you?
Oh no. Aside from cleaning and moving the beds, I also put some new pictures.
Pictures? Okay.
Yes. Some of the Ronso that came to live here are quite the artists.
Interesting. Anyway, later on, Dad, we'll have to have a spar. I think you'll be quite surprised with how strong I've got.
Might be a bit one-sided if you've been traveling for so long. But a year, what could be changed in a year?
Anyway, sorry. Maybe later on, maybe over some good food. Meat, perhaps? We could talk a little bit more about the Hollow Lily, see if you guys might know anything. I mean, maybe even Valera might know. She around?
Yes. She's actually been conversing with Fronwake for quite a bit as well as all the other Ronsos. She's been writing a very large book surrounding Shiva.
Sounds like her. Sounds like she never stops. Hope she understands that I'm not going to read them.
The Naga will speak up. Oh, I assure you, the books are going to be quite informative when they are finished. I've also been communicating much about the Lady of Ice.
I'm sure you have. I'm sure you could maybe tell me. I don't do reading.
As you lot are conversing, though the other three mostly listening, everyone can hear in the distance almost an alarm bell ringing as footsteps echo down the stairs, Agria shouting into the hall. Everybody, get in your houses! There's gonna be a storm!
Is the Gria from Shadowrock Hollow?
Yes.
Okay.
To your knowledge, this is the usual warning you would get from Stormscale Citadel.
Yeah. Well, seems like we better start heading home. Mom, Pa, you coming, or do you want me to lead the way?
Rai is picking up her tools whilst Drogden is motioning everyone to leave the temple. Yes. As I say, all your friends can come with us, and from Wake, you had business at my estate. I guess you can stay with us until the storm passes. I shall accept this invitation. I'm sure I can have many words with these newcomers, or at least one of them is a returning face. The Naga slithers to your side and will accompany you as you move, unless anyone has anything to say.
No, I'm going to follow Al's lead on this one, regardless of how uncomfortable Edwin may be at this point.
Yeah, Drazenka's also following our lead.
Oh, I guess we head back then.
Taking the lead of Drogdon, you four, the parents, and Fronwake, as well as everyone else at the temple, will leave. The floor shudders, shakes, and starts to grind against itself as a large portion of stone covers the entrance to the temple. Many people are climbing the rock faces, using the zip lines to go upwards as the mechanisms turn their wheels, as Fronwake begins to cast a spell. It seems to be directed at everyone. Does everyone accept it?
Can we
Sure.
spellcraft it before we accept it?
Yes. Drazenka just barely get. Well, no, Drazenka doesn't know what it is. Edwin, you do. You know that Frowake is casting Airwalk Communal.
It's a safe spell. I will say in common.
How many people is he affecting with this spell, just out of curiosity?
All of you.
Okay.
So it'd be you four, the parents, and him. So a total of
Yep.
7.
Yep. If Al's parents are accepting it, then she'll accept it.
Yeah, to be very clear, this is not like, no, I can cast a spell, it's more, I do this for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, Drazenka accepted.
With
I did it for a
this-
Mandragora, for God's sake, so there is that.
Yeah, you certainly did. Well, you asked what it was, you didn't spellcraft it.
Yeah, well,
But you,
they were casting it as they did it, but fair enough, either way.
with the ability to walk on air, all you need to do is become a goat and just go straight up the cliffs. You'll be led into Drogdon's estate, as in the distance you see the clouds get darker and darker, as everyone can roll perception.
Sorry.
It's a bit hard to see as you're also darting your head around to get into safety. But Al, amongst the dark clouds, you swear as if you can see a flurry of scaled wings amongst them.
Again? What's going on?
What's up?
Well, I'm sure. In the gaps between the clouds, that's almost scaly wings. Dragon-like.
Now, this may surprise you, Al, but I have no idea what you're talking about. I can't see a dang thing in this weather.
And this may not surprise you. I'm not surprised.
Al, and I'm going to speak to them in... Do we have a shared language apart from Draconic?
I mean, I know 13 languages. I'm sure we share at least a couple of them.
It was more to...
I think we
I
all
know
know
Common,
Ron's
Draconic, Undercommon, and Infernal.
I will speak to Al in Infernal then, because I know that... They may know this, they may not.
Mhm.
I'll just say, does it look like Shroskeik's wings, perchance? Or something similar.
GM?
You would have no clue at this distance. They seem larger than his wings, but, could have grown.
It's really hard to tell, especially through the thick foliage of the clouds. The wings look maybe a bit bigger, so no, I can't really tell.
Okay. Welcome home, Al.
Thank you. Although a lot of things are quite new in my home, but it's home nonetheless.
Entering inside, Drogdon will close the doors and bar it with a large hunk of wood. Frowake will then move to the windows as he passes a hand over them. The stony parts on the top and bottom almost connecting as if they were shutters.
Whoa, is that some sort of stone shaping spell?
Yes, I learned it amongst these people. It's a wonderful task to be underdone so quickly.
I don't know
From
any
walk-
magic, so I'm excited by all of it.
Well, we'll have some time amongst this building. Maybe I can teach you a thing or two.
Maybe. I'm much better with my weapon, though. I can learn about it, though, even if I can't cast it.
Certainly. I shall, however, reconvene with you all, possibly within the living area. I must quench myself. From Wake will then slither across the floor as a snake, but with their hands like almost in a cross behind their back, as they slither off into another room, as you can hear a splash of water.
Oh. This is certainly interesting.
Drobdon will then go over to Zairin, not having much time beforehand to speak, as he will shake your hand firmly. So, you've been put the moves of my daughter, have you?
What? Dad!
No? Where did you hear that from?
Al's gonna like run over and start just pushing his dad back, her dad back.
Like bodily pushing away.
What? No! Ew! No! Ew! No!
As Al continually says, you know, it seems like she's going to be saying it for quite some time, as we will end the session there and reconvene in possibly 3 weeks.
No.